A solar eclipse. The cosmic ballet goes on. Does anyone want to switch seats? That's it.
That's the Spock on the.
It's a quote.
That's amazing. I love that. I love the actual monorail guy himself.
Yeah,
when he just skips town halfway through.
I've sold monorails to Brockway, North Haverbrook, and
Ogdenville
and
North Haverbrook.
And by God, I put them on them. Hello and welcome to episode 31 of Don't Spoil the Ending.
Yay.
Extravaganza.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. This week we're doing The Simpsons. I'm Joe.
Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Nick.
Cool. And I'm Joe again. I don't know what to do after that final pause. There's like a pause after whoever last introduces themselves. And then everyone looks at me and is like, I'm Joe.
Like you're left hanging, like, yep. To me.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. So we're going to do the Simpsons movie this week. We've watched a few of the, what would you say, most favourite episodes?
I'd say so, yeah. Homer's Enemy, Cape Fear, they're my two favourite.
Yeah, I watched the monorail one as well.
Mad versus Monorail.
That's right.
Yep.
I watched Homer Hits the Bat as well.
That's a good one, yeah. We'll cover some Simpsons in a bit. Should we cover what we've done recently?
Yeah, can do. I mean, personally, I'm a bit boring again this week, not done too much.
Yeah.
Don't know about you guys.
Not so much. I've been moving around. Like everyone's always literally moving, but I'm moving, so I've not had much time for much.
I like that. I move around a lot. I used to be over there.
I did play Borderlands game. Should we start with games? Should we just jump?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah.
Before we do, I want to know about your hatred for Pizza Hut. We were talking about this off the pod, and I'm quite curious as to why.
Hatred's probably a strong word.
Okay, your dislike of.
Well, I was going to say, like, what's our favourite pizza establishment? Because mine's Domino's.
You know what? I'm going to go Pizza Hut. Domino's is up there, but Pizza Hut deep pan, the best.
I'm with you, Joe. I'm on the Domino's side.
Yeah, I think it goes Domino's and then Papa John's and then Pizza Hut.
See, it's the final two are reversed for me there.
Yeah,
Papa John's comes last.
Same here.
But we're not even going into like restaurants though, because I'd put Prezzo and Ask above both of those. They're pizza.
Oh God, I would put them.
Yeah,
I'd put them like below
bottom.
Everything ever.
Let's keep it on takeaways then.
For pizza, I don't want a small skinny thing with a drizzle of oil over
oily
it.
pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, loads of chili oil.
Oh no.
Oh God,
Little egg in the middle.
no.
Come on. Coming to my dislike for Pizza Hut, I've had Pizza Hut delivery, and each time I've had it, I've not liked the crust. Right? It's just not.
Oh well, have you been getting like a standard pizza?
No, I got the expensive like 5 cheese one or whatever they do. It just tasted like burnt cheese.
The crust, because the crust comes with a garlic. The standard crust comes with a garlic coating, and I hate it. That's why I get deep pan. It doesn't have that crust on it.
See, like I've had Pizza Hut in Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
and it was really good. But takeaway, no, I'd rather go Domino's.
It is a bit hit and miss. It can be a bit dodgy, can't it? Pizza Hut takeaway, but on the whole, I think it's really good.
You need to get in contact with John's contact. Was it Jed or something?
Ben or Glenn, I think it is.
Ben or Glenn. Right.
We think it's Ben, top bloke, sound guy.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut delivery guy. He gets us 50% off at Pizza Hut when we do the work orders and stuff.
Is he allowed to do that?
Yeah, I think so. It's a corporate thing, yeah.
Right, okay.
But yeah, he proper like spun it to us like, yeah, boys, we will. I think me and Ben, was it me and you or me and Ben went down to get the pizzas? Like, yeah, boys, we go 50% off next order. We're like, yeah, cheers, Ben or Glenn.
Cheers, Ben or Glenn or whoever. Yeah. Jared, whatever.
Hey, I'll give Ben a shout, or Glenn. Give him a shout out because he was having a UFC fight last weekend. I told you about this, didn't I? He dropped off some pizza at work the other week.
Sorry, by UFC fight.
UFC fight.
Sanctioned like as UFC or just an MMA fight?
Yeah. Dana White authorised this, yep.
Right, okay.
He dropped the pizza off at work. And he's like me, he's a big guy. A bit bigger than me. And he was saying that he's trying to lose some weight and stuff, trying to get fit. So he was doing a bit of cage fighting at the weekend.
Yeah.
And I think that was me and Ben at the time. We were downstairs. Different Ben.
different Glenn.
Different Glenn. Me and Ben were thinking, like, surely there's easier ways to get fit than cage fighting. Don't start there.
Yeah. It won't be UFC though.
No, sorry, it's not UFC, but it's a cage fight.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know how seriously to take you. There was a big cage fighting thing in Liverpool the other week.
Yeah. Well, there's a big thing in Warrington about it, isn't there? Rampage Jackson, was it? Used to live in Warrington like 7 or 8 years ago.
I think his gym's in Widnes.
Is it Widnes?
I think it was in Widnes. And then there's a couple of people who've trained in Widnes, which is nearby to where we live.
I remember a lot of people at work back then saying like, "Oh, I spotted, is it Quinton Rampage Jackson? What's his first name again?"
I mean, I like my MMA, but I don't know. I just know it was Rampage Jackson.
Well, he played Mr.
Quentin's
T. Quentin Rampage
Quentin's
Jackson.
not very a fightery name, is it?
Yeah.
Why he's called himself Rampage?
Yeah, it's something like that. But he played Mr. T in the A team,
the Triple A team,
A-team film.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting everything tonight. In the A-team film, he played Mr. T, and people would spot him in Tesco in town and be like, "Oh, I saw Rampage Jackson last night."
Right.
Just a very surreal moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm still going Domino's. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Like Domino's is definitely my favourite takeaway. Yeah. It's just the like remortgaging your house for a pizza that I'm not down for.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I'll go for the little businesses, the little guy to get a game to.
All right. Let's move on from pizza. Yeah, should we just move on to games straight off?
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah, can do.
I'll just cover the one I've played recently. Borderlands, Tales of Borderlands, Episode 1.
What's the company that makes that?
Telltale.
Telltale.
Yeah, so I'm really enjoying that. It's got quite a lot of humour in it. So it's a funny game. It's set out like every other Telltale game ever. I bring it up because I think Telltale are laying off a lot of staff at the moment. So they've laid off a lot of staff, and what they're trying to do is make the studio smaller, but making better games. When like maybe looking at the tech that they're using to sort of improve their games, because those games, as good as some of them are, in my opinion, they need improving. So yeah, they're laying off a lot of people, but that Borderlands one predates most of them. You know, like Game of Thrones. It came after Walking Dead, I think, but
it's one of the early ones into it.
Yeah, but it's
Walking Dead was one of the earliest ones at all. Wasn't it?
But I'd say this one looks better than the Game of Thrones one because
it's just after it though, isn't it?
I think it's before. I think
I'm
Borderlands was before.
I actually think it came just after it. It's like you say it's quite an early one, but it's not as old as you actually think.
I'm going to fact check this.
Yeah, you should do.
Stall.
But like,
while you're doing that,
stall for time.
But like, because I'm thinking like, what was it? Wolf Among Us. That's like one of the first ones, wasn't it?
I think that came after Walking Dead. But
did it actually?
I think so. But I mean, it was early though. It was one of the early
I
ones.
thought that was one of the earliest ones because I know. I think. I
feel like. Can I guess what the years are?
Back from the Future was like definitely one of the first ones.
Yeah, that was PS3. That
and so was Jurassic Park, wasn't it?
Yeah. Can I guess, Joe, what the years are?
Well, there you go. I've got a list of them now.
I'll get it on record here. I think Walking Dead was 2012. I think Back to the Future was either 2011 maybe or similar.
Yeah, right. I've got a full list. So I think it's got all the other ones like Back to the Future on it. So we'll ignore them and we'll start off with Walking Dead was when?
I think 2012.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. I think Wolf Among Us 2014.
2013 to 14. Well, it ended in 2014.
Right, okay.
You can have that.
What else is the Borderlands?
Walking Dead Season 2 was 2013.
2013.
I think 14.
Borderlands was 2015.
Borderlands was 2014 to 2015.
Oh, okay.
Game of Thrones.
2014? 2014.
Game of Thrones started a month after and ended a month after Borderlands. So technically, Nick, I was right.
I said I said Walking Dead, not Game of Thrones. I said
check the tape. Go back and check the tape.
I said it was after Walking Dead, not Game of Thrones.
But I'd say this one looks better than the Game of Thrones one because
it's just after it though, isn't it?
I think it's before. Walking Dead Season 2, then Borderlands, then Game of Thrones. Yeah. That's all. It's just agree.
I agree.
Minecraft 2015.
Yes. But yeah, what I was trying to say was that game, the actual Borderlands one, they must obviously they've got the art to pull from anyway. Like the style's already there. They don't have to make a style up for it. But that game looks great. Like it looks better than the Walking Dead games. It looks better than the Game of Thrones game.
What style do you call that? Because it's
cell shaded.
Cell shaded.
It's like clearly drawn, isn't it?
Like it's 2D, 3D, isn't it? Almost.
Yeah.
But
it's a weird.
And I mean, that's funny because they get that style from the actual Borderlands game itself, don't they?
Yeah,
you know,
that's why it looks great. Like the game looks amazing. It's stylistically really good. Yeah, I recommend it. It's really funny.
And that's why The Wolf Among Us looks great as well, because it's that cartoon panel style to it and stuff, and cartoon characters.
Yeah,
it just fits the Telltale aesthetic.
Yeah. So it's an aesthetic, isn't it? But what I like with the Borderlands one is it's got real music in it. From obviously most games do, but like this has got like licensed music in it as well, which is probably came from Telltale putting more money into it.
Yeah,
but it's also got all the little. Borderlands has these little moments, when a boss appears and they'll like sort of jump out in their own character screen, and it'll be a little flash of the person and like a stab of music,
like an intro.
Yeah,
almost.
So it's got all that in it as well, and like it takes the right elements from Borderlands and puts them into that game. So I recommend that.
Am I correct in thinking that this was free a number of months ago?
Yes.
Well, I was thinking this. I'm sure I didn't pay for this. Why have I got this? But it's been free on both Xbox One and PS4, so I've got it on both things now.
All right.
And I'm like, did I buy this? But I didn't, it was just free on both on different months.
Like when it was free that month, like several people actually told me like, oh, have you downloaded Tales of Borderlands? Yeah, I was like, oh, I've not. No. Like loads of people told me like, play this game. It's an amazing game. You need to play this game. So you're probably like the seventh person that has recommended it to me. I don't know why I've not done it yet.
See, I've played Borderlands 1 and I enjoyed it and liked what it was, but I never finished it and I got bored of it. But this is making me bored of Borderlands. This is made me want to buy the Handsome Jack collection, which is the sequel and the pre-sequel. Yeah, like, I actually want to play them now after playing this game that has nothing really to do with it.
Well, I was thinking that version is like £8 at the moment on the PlayStation Store.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is that on offer?
Yeah, I was literally looking at it the other day thinking,
I'm expecting that
£8. You get 3 games there for £8.
Yeah. I'm expecting that to be free though, soon.
That's the thing. I'm reluctant now to buy anything because I think within a month or two, it might turn up free. And then I'm like, I bought this already.
It's like the Metal Gear one. Like that was a shock because that shouldn't be free.
I mean, like I said, I bought that Metal Gear one. I think it was only like £1 or something. It was very cheap anyway. So I was like, I'm not missing out on that. And then it becomes free. I thought, are you joking?
Yeah.
Just one final thing on that. I'm always interested to know, like, I think Gearbox did Borderlands, the actual game.
Yeah.
I just wonder how much involvement Gearbox have with the Telltale game, if any at all.
I don't know the answer to that, but it feels like it has a decent amount of input because the Game of Thrones, that game had a lot of input from Game of Thrones.
Did HBO have like a big?
Yeah, like when you finish the Game of Thrones game, you get voiceovers from all the actors. Like all the actors and actresses are in the Game of Thrones game.
True. Yeah.
And it's the same with I assume Borderlands has got a similar connection.
Does AMC have any input on the Walking? I mean, it's not actually part of the same. Well, it is. But it's like Glenn's in it, but it's not the same.
The funny thing is, that's the comic universe, isn't it? I think The Walking Dead, not the TV show universe. So it's a bit different, isn't it?
That's weird. That one. Isn't it?
Hmm.
What about like the likes of the other one, Jurassic Park and stuff? Does Steven Spielberg have any input?
No, judging by the game, I don't think anyone was involved with that. I don't think that was one of the worst ones. That the Jurassic Park.
John, did you have some more games to go over?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Just some VR stuff first, if that's okay. Been playing Eve Gunjack online. It's £2.99 at the moment on offer. For £2.99, you can't complain. It's got like 3, 4, 5 hours of gameplay in there. Just a great sci-fi shooter. You control your targeting reticule with the VR headset. So you actually look around to look at what you want to shoot at. Yeah. And it just feels great. Like it's basically Space Invaders, but in VR kind of thing.
Does that make you feel ill at all?
Not at all, no. Because you're not actually moving. You're like in a gun turret. And they're just ships flying around in front of you. And you're just going to pick them off.
I always thought they'd be the best VR games. The ones where you have to just be stationary and you can just look around. So like driving games, flying games.
Yeah, well, I'm finding that like Sneaky Bears is exactly the same, only with 2 ice cream cone controllers. But you just stay in one spot. It's like a shooting gallery. You're just shooting things. But it works perfectly for VR. For $2.99, it's a lot of people were a bit sniffy about the game when it came out, but like I say, for £3, I've got more than £3 worth of enjoyment out of it. So I definitely recommend that while it's on offer. And the other VR game is Trackmania Turbo. Been playing loads of that again.
That'd be good in VR.
It's amazing. It's so good. I can't explain how good this game is in VR. There's like 40 tracks designed just for VR. And yeah, it's great. Like roller coaster rides kind of thing.
Oh, is that what it is? Roller coasters?
No, it's a racing game, but literally the tracks that you do, they call certain tracks wall riders, and you have to literally ride up a wall, and it'll just fire you into the sky to like hit another wall hanging in the sky. Then like you turn around and come back down again. Then it just makes you feel like sick when you play. You're like, oh my god.
Trackmania has always been able to do that. Like there's the one I got onto Trackmania with a few years ago was called Trackmania Nations, and it was just a free version of Trackmania on. I think it was Steam. It was on, and yeah, it was just it was a time trial based thing, and you just pick what country you want to drive the car of, and you go onto these servers, and everything was a bit janky. Nothing was like official. You'd have all these weird little things going on, but you'd have all these custom maps as well. So you would go and do all these insane maps where all you have to do is go forward, just accelerate, and you'll just do this insane track because people have figured out exactly where the drops are, where the jumps finish off, and built a track around that. It's pretty insane what some people have been able to do on track.
Yeah, it's a great game. Like I'm really into it. Yeah, and in VR, like I had Thursday off work, so I thought I'm going to spend an hour on Trackmania Turbo, and then got on FIFA for the rest of the day in Star Wars Battlefront. But I ended up just playing Trackmania Turbo all day in VR. It was like it's great. Definitely recommend that. You can get it like quite cheap now for like 10-15 quid. And if you've got a VR headset, it's definitely.
I feel like you've sold it to me already. I think I'm probably going to purchase that.
You should definitely. It was on offer the other month for like $11.99. I think it's back up to like 30 quid on the store, that is. But you can buy an actual disc copy for like 10-15 quid in most places.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I'll lend it if you want. You can lend it, give it a go and see what you think.
I'm thinking, like, I think you've pretty much sold it to me there. Like, I'm intrigued at least. Anyway.
I mean, as with everything, like the novelty wears off after a bit. But the first time you do one of these massive jumps in VR, like your stomach's in your mouth, kind of thing. It's like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But yeah, loved that. And they're the two VR games, aren't they? Played a quick bit of Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I absolutely love it, but I'm going to spend more time next week talking about that because I've only literally played like 2 hours so far, and it's pretty much the same as what I played on the beta. So
Battlefront, is this the Star Wars one?
Star Wars Battlefront 2, yeah. The 10-hour trial's out on EA Access now.
So is this only just being released?
It's out on Tuesday for the pre-order edition, then it's out next Friday.
My timeline with these Battlefront games is just... I swear it came out like a year ago. Was that Battlefront 1?
Battlefront 1 was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Honestly, I thought this one came out already.
Battlefront 2 was like not so much announced, but they showed a lot of footage of that at the last E3.
Yeah,
like,
that's
they
right.
spent a good 15-20 minutes just showing gameplay footage for it.
And you two guys are big fans of The League, that TV show.
Yeah.
You mentioned on the E3 thing that
the
Shiva is the main female character in the game. So,
I don't know if I'm completely wrong here, but was that game supposed to have like a one player game mode on
it's
it?
got a campaign. The first game didn't have a campaign, and everyone complained, so they put a campaign in this one. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Which I'm not bothered about. It's the online battles I care about, but
I'd be bothered about a campaign mode, but I hadn't heard the good things about it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the thing. It'll probably feel a bit like an afterthought, but the online so far has been great. But I'll do a full review next week if you guys are cool with that. Go into that when the full game's out.
Cool.
The only other thing I've got is Fortnite online shooter game.
I wanted to mention. I mean, I've not played it myself, but have you played it yet? Or?
Yeah, I played it last night for a few hours, and it is great. But I think Joe's going to be a bit peed. I'm totally like preempting your response here, but I think you're going to be a bit peed off about Fortnite.
Okay.
Do you know anything about it?
Is it no?
It's a free-to-play online shooter.
Okay, all right. Let's see the moment that you think I'm going to drop off.
I
Free
think
to play, good.
Realisation
Online
is going to
shooter,
set in with you at some point here. Online shooter.
Loot boxes.
It's free-to-play. It's online shooter. 100-player battle royale.
Right, so it's just PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Yeah. I knew you'd get on that. It's literally a PS4 console version. I think the Xbox One's got it as well, but they've beat the PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds to the punch by getting the console version out before they do.
Yeah, okay.
And everyone's just saying it's good, it's a great game, but it's just PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Like,
Yeah,
literally, they just ripped it off, kind of thing.
Yeah, like I'd heard that people were attempting to. It's not so much ripping it off; it's the fact that it's a game mode.
It's the same concept, kind of thing. Like
there was something going on. I think it was Destiny. Where Destiny have got a mode that is similar to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, I think it's Destiny.
Well, Destiny 2's just come out, so it could be that. Like, yeah.
Oh, is it that or is it Destiny or what's the other big sci-fi shooter recently?
Oh, I don't know, but I think you could be right with Destiny.
I think it's Destiny, but apparently, like there's a mode in that which is very similar to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and there's a bit of a problem there because one of them helped the other one.
Right.
They've ended up just going and making their own mode, which was kind of like, well, why are you trying to step on our thing? But at the end of the day, you can't copyright a game mode.
Yeah, that's it. Like, people will jump on board, won't they? It's just the fact they've beat them to the punch by getting the console version out before they have.
Yeah,
But it is great, though. That's the thing. Like,
but like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds aren't even the first people to do a mode like this. They're the ones where it really caught fire for.
yeah, they've honed it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and even then, the game's janky as fuck. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like.
Well, Fortnite's still in development. You can pay like £32 for a full version of it now, but they make it clear that this isn't the finished game. The finished game will be out next year, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. But it's interesting that though.
It's great. I mean, just the idea of it. You get dropped into a huge map. You don't see anyone for like 10 minutes of the game because you just go around just crafting stuff, just trying to get the best weapons available. Yeah. On the off chance you do see someone, you shit your pants. They go, "I've not got any weapons ready." Yeah. But yeah, it's great. It's a really tense game.
It's so funny hearing you explain that. And like, I know you haven't like played or watched or seen any PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Yeah. What you've just said then, that's the selling.
Exactly the same feeling.
That's the selling point for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. You start off in the map, you parachute in. You can see other people parachuting in.
Yeah.
And you're like,
so you're trying to avoid everyone and just go off your own little corner.
So you go looting and you try and find yourself a good backpack so you can carry more stuff. Yeah. Try and find yourself a good gun or like a gun to start off with, and you can find armor and helmets and stuff.
Yeah. And it's just the fact if you die, you're dead, kind of thing.
Yeah,
You've just invested like 20 minutes getting to this point. You don't want to die, so it's a shooter game where if you spot someone in the distance, you don't want to go and kill him.
No, yeah.
Let someone else take care of him. I'll just hide for another bit of it.
Does the map get smaller and smaller on Fortnite?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's just a rip-off.
Exactly the same. It's a big storm thing, and every 90 seconds it closes in. So eventually, like, you're in just one house, about 5 are just packed in there trying to kill each other.
Exactly the same.
Yeah. But it is great though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a winning formula. At least the 2017 game formula that's really worked is that. And it's probably going to be like that next year. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is not even out yet. It
comes out on the 22nd of December on Xbox One only, I think.
But this is what I mean. It's not even officially out on PC.
Yeah, it's still like being developed.
It's in like alpha or beta, and it's like I don't know how you can define game releases anymore when you can release a game and just say, "Oh look, this is pre-alpha release, whatever."
Yeah,
and you've got millions of people playing it, and you're like, "Well, it's just out in it." Like,
yeah, Fortnite's not officially a full game yet, but it's got 20 million players online. It's just crazy.
It's just insane.
But it is great. That's the thing. Like,
I'm gonna have to look at that.
It's a total rip-off, but it's free to play.
Well, that's it. I can't play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds at the moment, and it's not out on PS4. Yeah. So why not just jump on that?
Give it a try. It's like a halfway house kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah.
And it won't be long until they start bringing loot crates out.
Yeah,
which just
they already have.
Have they already done that? Well,
there's already like microtransactions in there and stuff like. Yeah.
On their PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, they've got a few that are based on outfits for Battle Royale. So there's like a yellow tracksuit that is like very Battle Royale. You can get one of them in the loot crates, but the point on that is that you can only get one piece of it, so you can get either the top or the bottom half of the tracksuit.
Right.
So you've just got to keep spending money until you get it. But the mental part of that is, if you did get a full tracksuit and you started a game and you were one of the first people to die, you can just get that tracksuit looted off you by the next person.
Yeah, you just lose it straight away.
Well, you lose it on that game. You obviously get to keep it. But it just means that someone else can wear your tracksuit.
Just running around with your costume.
You've paid good money for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I think us three get on that. You can play like team modes in it as well, so you can team up with people. Like I think that'd be amazing.
Like on PlayerUnknown Battleground. I'm up for that. I think we should organise that.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm up for this. Like.
Yeah. All right, let's do that then.
Yep, and that's me done for games.
Cool.
You're looking at me.
Looking at you, Nick. I've covered my games.
I've got only one game I played. I think I mentioned it last week, but I hadn't played it at that point. Deadpool, a game I played that.
Is this the Dead Wacky one?
I mean, it's Deadpool. So what do you?
Is this the one from maybe 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, they brought it out on the PS3. Then when the film came out, they brought it out on PS4 with better graphics and stuff.
Yeah, this is the one where he's like riding unicorns around and stuff, isn't it?
I mean, spoilers. I've not got to that yet.
I haven't played it. I've just seen the trailer.
No, I mean, I'm genuinely not asked about spoilers, but no,
Well, you can spoil Deadpool, can you? It's just loads of random stuff.
But no, like I played it. I bought it because John told me about how it's like £4 on PlayStation 4 or something. I was like,
and off for £4.49.
so I was like, I might as well. It's not expensive at all.
To buy it pre-owned, it's still like £20 in town, so it's worth for £4.49. It's definitely worth it.
I mean, I had a great lot of fun. It's just a bit of a beat 'em up in it. Well, is that what you call them? Beating up?
Yeah, like a third person.
Slash 'em ups.
Kind of like a Devil May Cry. Not totally like that, but that style of game kind of
You
thing.
just get to slash a load of people and
Hack and slash.
Yeah.
So it's a Marvel hack and slash style game.
It's amazing, and obviously it's got all the fourth wall breaky bobby stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a great lot of fun, to be honest.
The trailer looked really funny. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Deadpool fan.
Well, like what it was like the whole concept is that like Deadpool in the game is designing the game that you're playing. So like you're playing it, and then like after you've done the first level, you get like a phone call. No, so you don't get a phone call. You call like the person, like the manager or something who's made the game, who's making the game, and you say like. After the first level, basically, you're in this weird little Doom, like isometric view kind of thing, and you call him and go like, "What the fuck's going on here?" And he goes, "I told you not to blow all the money on all the explosions in the first level." and I found that quite amusing, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, it's a fun little game. I'll probably try and complete that this weekend.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's about all. I mean. That's all I wanted to talk about with that. But like because of the subject of the entire episode, I wanted to talk about my memories of some Simpsons games.
Oh yeah.
The best part of this is that some of these games were not very good, but I have such fond memories of them.
I mean, there's only like there's two of like distant memories. But obviously there was like a Simpsons Tapped Out game, which is still going now, which I played a few years ago. I've not really got many memories of that, to be fair. I just remember placing buildings and clicking stuff every now and then.
See, I never played Hit and Run because that was one I actually didn't play.
I never played that.
I played Simpsons Wrestling.
I played that on PS1.
Which, if you go back and look at that now, looks awful.
Oh, it does look awful, but it was such a fun game.
Yeah, I remember the best character on that game was Ned, because Ned had basically 2 lives. He had I can't remember if you did a special move like when you die, or his special move was this, but
didn't he just pray and God brought him back or something?
Yeah, like if I'm remembering this correctly, a big shining light comes down on him when he's died and brings him back to full health. He's just like, what?
I honestly, like as a kid, like I don't even think I've ever beat everyone on that game. I don't think I ever did, you know. Yeah. But like I remember getting to Mr. Burns, and he's basically just on the outline of the thing, throwing like potion, like acid in the ring at you while you're fighting Smithers. I thought that was brilliant. And I can't even remember some of the other people you fought, but there was Bumblebee Man. You fought Bumblebee Man.
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
I can't remember some of them.
But like I had so much fun on that as a kid. I smashed that game. That was probably one of my most played games on the PS1. Yeah, I loved it.
I played a lot of Simpsons Road Rage. That was the Crazy Taxi version of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's probably my favourite Simpsons game. Yeah, that was good because you could unlock a lot of like different cars and everything. So one of Homer's unlockable cars was, the one he designed for his brother, where it was the...
Oh, God, the awful car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was called the Homer, I think.
Danny DeVito was his brother.
Yes, he was. Yeah. It's the bit where he's designing that car and they're all asking him, like, oh, what do you want to do here? And he just comes up with these crazy ideas.
Yeah.
Such as having a separate... So one of the scientists offers an idea of having a separate bubble pod for his kids, so the kids are not in the same place as him. So you can unlock that car. You could, yeah, Mr. Plow, that was on there.
Oh, right.
There was loads. I think Barney had a Mr. Plow as well.
Yeah.
Well, not a Mr. Plow, but
He was like Plow King, one of your
Plow King. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So that was probably my favorite Simpsons game. I can still remember the map for that. That's how much I played that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a couple, like the Simpsons arcade game. I don't know if you guys played that.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I didn't even think about going that far.
yeah, the 4-player beat 'em up. It was basically like Konami made it. Or Konami, as you call it. Yeah, Konami made it, and it was exactly the same as the Turtles arcade game, but just repainted with Simpsons characters, kind of thing. 4-player, side-scrolling beat 'em up, but that was amazing. And on the very first one I remember was Bart v the Space Mutants.
I was just about to bring that up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember begging my mum to buy me that on the NES. And it was like 50 quid, so I got the Amstrad version for like a £5 instead. Played it on the Amstrad, but it wasn't even that good a game. It's just the fact it was The Simpsons, like, you know.
I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but like I have a very early memory of playing a Simpsons game where it's a side scroller
Platformer.
and you basically Bart on a skateboard.
Yeah, this sounds like it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
And like,
it's-
you were fighting alien, well, space mutants, weren't you? But the hook of it was you could go into the phone box and phone Mo, and it'd show little speech bubbles of like, you know, different jokes to tell Mo. And that's all you did when he played it. I was like, yep, phone Mo again.
Yeah, I played it on the Mega Drive. I remember I played the first level hundreds of times, and I just couldn't really. I'd get past that.
I was the same. I only ever played the first level where you phone Mo, and I never did anything more.
Yeah, no, like because what you would do is you go around, you'd spray the spray
Graffiti
things
and stuff.
Is this, you spraying red or you spraying pink?
I think it was red.
I think you've got to spray the pink stuff red.
Yeah.
So you go through town doing that, and I remember it being dead hard. I don't know whether it was just because I was a kid, but I only ever got to like the second on the third level maybe a few times. But I remember there was a few hats, and you had to like collect people's hats and things.
Yeah,
but,
I do remember that, yeah.
yeah, it was like I just remember it being insanely hard for a child.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it.
Well, a lot of games were back then.
Yeah.
On the old NES, like Mega Man and stuff was notorious for being just ridiculously hard. How kids ever finished those games, like I don't know, but yeah. That was back before you could save your game and stuff. And
Oh yeah, true.
Yep. But just one last one. There was a game called Bart vs. the World as well, which was a sequel to the Space Mutants one. Right. But I never played that. I always wanted to, and just never got around to playing it. Might need to look for an emulator online, maybe, to give that a go.
See, I'm wondering if one of these is what I play, because I remember like you'd be on a skateboard, like let's say side scrolling, and like you'd have to jump over like a homeless man or something on the floor.
It does sound like Space Mutants.
Is that the one?
You were on like the street pavement just going along, and you'd go to like Mo's would be in the background, and you could go into the phone box and phone Mo.
See, I don't remember. I don't remember that bit. I don't remember ever calling Mo.
Right.
But I do remember scrolling down and jumping over homeless people and bins and stuff.
Yeah, that is definitely the same game.
Yeah.
Definitely. I remember doing all that. And they keep off the grass sign. You can go on the grass and get chased off.
I actually do remember that. I think. Yeah.
It's just funny, like looking at that back then. All the marketing was about Bart in 1989. They didn't realise that like Homer was the star yet. You know what I mean? They hadn't got to that point, kind of thing. So yeah.
Maybe Bart was the hook for games though.
Yeah, maybe because kids in it. Kids are going to be
Because it
playing
was like,
them.
kids play games.
Yeah.
Market it with Bart.
I'd have definitely much rather played Homer v the Space Mutants. That would be good.
And then like the future games was kind of like Homer in the hit and run and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All right, should we move on to films? I haven't watched any this week, so I've got nothing. But
Yeah.
John, do you?
I've got one. I won't take too long on it. I know Nick's watched this. King Arthur. Watched it this week for the first time. It's a Guy Ritchie film. I'm quite a fan of Guy Ritchie. He's known as a bit of a Tarantino rip-off merchant, but he's still... I mean, I like Tarantino that much that it's not as good as Tarantino, but the fact that he tries to do the same thing, I quite like that. You know, I think it works. But yeah, I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. When it came out, everyone was panning it, saying it was garbage, incoherent and stuff like that. But yeah, I really got into it. It's like a fantasy version of King Arthur, but I suppose it is like a fable, isn't it? You know, like a legend. But like this giant, like 300-foot elephant that's in it and stuff. And the film ends with like a giant, like 100-foot python and stuff like that. Like it's just like this is mental. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Charlie Hunnam's not amazing in it. Is the kind of actor I think Charlie Hunnam where you can see his bag of tricks when he's acting. Like, he has like a couple of things that he does. Just plays the cool, cocky guy. You can't tell if he's English or American. You know, like he's just kind of the handsome guy who, you know, to get the females in kind of thing. But he's okay, you know. It's not terrible.
David Beckham.
David Beckham's got a great little cameo in it. Charlie Hunnam.
This is right. What year was this film?
This summer.
Was it?
Yeah, this summer, yeah. Big blockbuster film this summer that just,
I've missed this one.
yeah, it's just like Bond.
You saying David Beckham then, I thought this film just got time stamped at like 2006 or something.
Oh,
like,
no,
just because what was that? What was the golden? No, what was that free kick film?
Oh, Bend It Like Beckham.
Yeah, that was named after him, isn't it? Yeah, never mind. All right, well, I missed this King Arthur film.
Yeah, there's a scene where Charlie Hunnam, King Arthur, comes up to try and lift the sword out of the stone, and there's like a sentry guy watching him, and Charlie Hunnam's like, "Where do you want me?" But David Beckham's like, "Where do you think I want you? Bouncing on my knee? Hands on the hilt, stupid." It's not great.
I was going to say, did he just play David Beckham?
Yeah, it doesn't try to, but he does end up just playing David Beckham.
Yeah.
But
just moaning about charity and stuff.
yeah, probably, yeah. I'm gonna go back.
Take that gold away from the peasants.
I'm gonna go back Catherine Jenkins. She's probably on coke. That stupid care. Yeah, but yeah, really enjoyed it. It's got a weird fantasy feel to it, but I love the action in it. I know you weren't a fan, Nick, but it feels like the Matrix. When he uses Excalibur, it goes into this like weird, like Matrixy, like he's just tearing people apart with a sword. But yeah, great.
Yeah, King Arthur, like the Matrix.
Yeah, just like the Matrix.
Put that on the movie.
Fights 200-foot elephants.
I found it just boring, if I'm honest with you. I just got really bored very quickly with this film.
It just kept on surprising me where it was going, and like the editing in it. Guy Ritchie does the whole Tarantino editing. Where I mentioned to Nick in the week, there's a scene where they plan to send Charlie Hunnam to the Darklands to train, and Jimon Hunsu is like, he's not going to the Darklands under no circumstances. So we sending him to the Darklands. Then it just cuts them on the boat and it's going, "Welcome to the Darklands."
I like that.
Just stuff like that, you know, weird editing and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. 4.5 out of 5. One of the. It might make a reappearance in my top 5 of the year.
Nick, what would you give that film out of?
Definitely not 4.5 out of 5. I don't know. I'm going for about a 2.
An on the spot 2 from Nick there.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, just really pleasant surprise. Really enjoyed it, and we'll come back to it in our year-end review podcast. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Are we doing a year in review?
Yeah, I'm
up for a year in review.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that off the pod, but yeah,
we'll do our admin off the pod. All right, we've got no other films, have we?
No.
Should we move on to TV? Has anybody got any TV that's not Simpsons? Because I have.
I've not.
Have you, Nick?
No, I've not watched fucking anything.
We'll do that. Well, I'll do my little bit then.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I say TV, Japanese TV, wrestling. So I'm going to spend the next 2 minutes talking about wrestling. Have you seen that Chris Jericho's fighting at Wrestle Kingdom 12, which is New Japan Wrestling's WrestleMania?
Well, I've perked up a bit. I'm quite a fan of Y2J.
Yeah.
Is he not still in WWE?
No.
He's not under contract anymore. No.
No, he's obviously he's on good terms with them, but he's just went and doing a match with the other big Canadian wrestler, which is Kenny Omega, who I've mentioned on this show before.
Yeah.
Them two have been having a bit of back and forth on Twitter, but it's obviously all just been background promo work for that. But yeah, it came out. Jericho appeared on a big screen in New Japan, basically challenging for the title.
Oh, right.
He's not the big title, but it's one of the main ones.
Well, I'm such a big fan of Y2J. I didn't even know he'd left WWE.
Jericho's doing a cruise next year. Have you heard about this?
No.
You heard about this? Yeah, it's probably just called the Jericho Cruise, but you know he does metal and he does wrestling as well. There's a cruise happening next year towards the end of the year. So it's this. They're organised this a year in advance, and it's basically like a few days where Chris Jericho's almost like the captain of the ship. And you can get tickets on the cruise.
Oh my god,
this sounds amazing to me.
Yeah,
where
sounds cool.
It's basically just going to be rock music and wrestling for the entire cruise. Like they're just going to have nights of wrestling and rock music. But the people they've been signing up to go on the actual cruise, they've been getting the biggest independent wrestling names to appear on it. So like Cody Rhodes, he's one of the biggest names at the moment.
I remember Cody Rhodes. Is he the son of Dustin Rhodes?
Yeah. But like Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes. Sorry.
Yeah, Dustin's the
other son, Goldust. Yeah.
He's currently Ring of Honor champion. He's appearing. The Young Bucks, which are the biggest thing other than Kenny Omega outside of WWE, in my opinion, they've both announced that they're going to be on it. Apparently, Jericho went to WWE, basically saying, "I want to do this cruise. Give me the NXT roster and let me take them, and we can we'll do a good show. We'll make loads of money." And they were like, "No." So he went and spoke with Ring of Honor, and they were like, "Yeah, you can use some of our people." So yeah, and then you imagine he's going to have his metal band on one night. It just sounds great.
That does sound like fun.
Just imagine going on a cruise and just all the entertainment is either wrestling or rock music. I'm well up for that.
Y2J's the captain.
Yeah. It'd be great.
Yeah, happy with that.
Yeah. So that's my wrestling update.
Just a quick one. Any more updates on the Vince McMahon movie?
No, I've not seen
Nothing
any.
else, no.
No. I've not been keeping up too much with the wrestling recently. Although last weekend or over the last sort of week, I've caught up with about 25 episodes of Botchamania. So I'm up to date on what's been going wrong over the past few months. But
have we mentioned Botchamania before?
I don't think we have.
Because you got me watching. I don't know if you've watched any of it, Nick, in work.
No.
It's amazing.
You can watch that without being a wrestling fan. I've watched it, and I basically watched from January this year, because I've not watched much wrestling other than the Rumble and WrestleMania. But I watched every Botchamania episode that's been released since January, and I've caught right up. And just watching all this stuff that's gone on, it's laugh out loud funny with Botchamania. Just seeing.
I remember you telling me about it in work and getting me to watch an episode, and I was just howling, laughing on lunch, just watching it.
It's amazing. There's been all sorts going on with TNA, which is the other company. Well, not the other company. They used to be the number 2 company, but they've dropped right off. They got took over by Jeff Jarrett's other thing, called GFW, Global Force Wrestling, and then they've now become rebranded to Impact, which is like TNA's other thing. But nobody seems to have updated the belts. So the belt, it's basically the GFW belt as the main belt, but on the main plate, it almost looks like there's a metal sticker over it that says Impact, right? But they've not changed the side plates. They've still got the old wrong side plates on. And it's just stuff like that you don't normally pick up on. But if you watch Botchamania or follow it on Facebook, you see all this mad stuff. Yeah. It's just some of the best stuff you'll ever see is on that.
It just makes it sound really welfare, the fact that they're just rebranding these belts with just put a sticker on it for now.
Yeah. And then Billy Corgan's setting up a wrestling organisation as well, Smashing Pumpkins.
Really?
Yeah. Have you not heard about that? He tried to get a part of TNA.
I didn't even know he liked wrestling.
Yeah, Billy Corgan's a massive wrestling fan. So he tried to take a part of TNA over the last couple of years.
Right.
But he ended up falling out with them, and there was this big legal battle. But yeah, I think he's basically on about either starting his own company up, or he might have already done it by now, or he might have took over one of the other smaller companies, and he's trying to build it up into his own thing. Because he's obviously got money. He's, Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, they were big for 10 years, weren't they? Yeah. So I just love the idea of Vince McMahon's main competition being Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan.
Is it Corgan?
Yeah. Are you a big Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah, I love him. Love Smashing Pumpkins. Big fan. Smashing Pumpkins, Y2J.
Yeah. So that's my occasional wrestling update.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'll have another one in January probably.
Rumble.
Well, the Rumble and Wrestle Kingdom 12's January, so I'll have the updates in Jan.
Just one last thing. You don't care about Survivor Series, do you?
No, not at all.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, not at all.
I used to when it was like a 4-man elimination thing, but now it's just nothing.
I barely even care about SummerSlam these days because that, it's not.
Yeah.
It's literally my calendar for wrestling is, for WWE at least, it's the Rumble and WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then the Raw after WrestleMania. That's literally it. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's move away from my wrestling. Simpsons.
Before, sorry, I know I said I didn't have anything to mention, but while you were talking about that, I realised I did. I was supposed to bring it up last week. I just didn't.
Okay.
David Attenborough's Blue Planet 2.
Oh
my God, the man, the mystery. Wait, what?
The man, the mystery, the man.
You know what I'm on about though. Blue Planet 2. Just watch it. It's amazing.
Blue Planet 1 is one of my favourite TV series.
If that's one of your favourite, watch this, because obviously nowadays was it 20 years on?
Yeah. It's 20 years.
I don't know.
It's the first Blue Planet.
I don't actually know, to be honest. I might just have made that number up in my head.
Right.
But like they've got a lot more technology now, so like they're able to go like a lot deeper down, and like some of the things you see are just mental.
Yeah.
Like, did you watch Planet Earth 2?
I've got no, I've got the first Planet Earth and is it Frozen Earth?
Oh, was that,
Is that
one?
what the other one was called? No. There was a couple like I've got them on Blu-ray. I've watched them. I didn't watch Planet Earth 2 though. As good as it is, I just haven't watched it.
Planet Earth 2 is amazing.
Are they all going to be on iPlayer?
I think. Well, Blue Planet definitely is.
Okay.
At the moment, but like, the first 2 episodes have aired. This Sunday at 9:00. Don't quote me on that. But this Sunday anyway. That'll be on BBC. It's so good. Like
I could watch hours and hours of that type of thing.
Like, I mean, you don't mind if a spoil just a scene. I say spoil. It's
Spoilers. This happens in real life.
This happens in real life.
Yeah.
But basically, like, there's this one scene, like, it blew my mind. There's these dolphins being chased by these what they called fake killer whales.
Orcas.
No.
Are orcas just real killer
they're not orcas. These are actually called fake killer whales.
Okay.
And they're chasing these dolphins, and then all of a sudden these dolphins turn around, just start having a fucking play about with the whales. Apparently, they were old mates that just like that every like decade or something, they just like meet up in there and have a play.
Go for a drink.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's amazing.
All right,
like,
Bob.
That's literally what it was. They were all like, Bob. No, honestly, like, it's so amazing. Like, it blows my mind every time I see it, and just to hear David Attenborough's voice, just
oh yeah, he's national treasure, David Attenborough.
Like, yeah, like, he needs to be on my £20 note today.
My only issue I've ever had with these programs is like, I remember being heartbroken when I was younger. Probably a bit more impressionable, didn't know how the world worked, and read that some of the scenes are not as they seem.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so like there was one where they were showing, I think I might get all of the actual facts wrong of this, but it was like they had polar bears, and
I remember this.
They showed them on the frozen Earth, and then it showed them having 2 cubs. But the cubs,
it showed the birth, and that was the birth was actually
it was different bears in captivity in a zoo, and they just edited that in, and it happened with Blue Planet 2 as well. Some of the scenes weren't actually filmed. Like,
I mean, you might be right, but at the end of the episode now, like for both Planet Earth 2 and Blue Planet 2, they've actually got like, it's kind of a behind the scenes bit at the end.
They always did that. They're really interesting.
Yeah, they basically show you how like they recorded it, kind of thing. So
yeah, some of them though they've done in an environment. I don't think there's many, but
I mean,
some are in an environment where they've been able to not manufacture it. But David Attenborough actually came out, and he's been quoted on it recently, basically saying, look, we stand by the way we've done some of these scenes because it's still natural. It's still this is the only way we could have got some of this footage. Yeah. Which you have to sort of.
No, that's fair enough. But like, say for episode 2 of Blue Planet 2 now, some of those scenes are just impossible to ever create, like, without it being in nature, because like they went so deep, like so far down, like they could not have possibly built a thing big enough to house these creatures. It's ridiculous. Like some of the things they had, like they have like these fishes so far down that like you might have seen it like on Facebook or something, I don't know, but like the skulls are transparent. Like, you can just see the brains through the top of the heads, purely because there's that far down that they need to see through the top of the heads to see if any predators are coming.
Right.
And it's just some weird. And there's this other one where they've got saltwater lakes at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, do you know what? You've mentioned that, and I don't know if it's going to be similar, but one of my favourite moments I was either Planet Earth or Blue Planet. They showed a cave, and it was basically the point where seawater meets saltwater. And if you're like underneath the seawater and you go up, you feel like you've just come out of the water because there's like a separation of the water.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, and like if you went to take off your like breathing equipment. You just breathe in the salt water because you're still in water. You're just in a different density of water, but you can't tell from underneath. So it's like you get through one barrier of water and you're still underwater. So you have to keep going up to go to the next layer.
Yeah.
Like some of those shots, like of that, it's just insane. So I imagine it's similar with.
I don't think it's anything like it, if I'm honest.
Okay.
But
You're saying like lakes at the bottom of the ocean,
what it was, he called it brine,
right?
and which is obviously what they put tuna and stuff in tins. But it's at the bottom of the ocean. And it's literally a lake underneath the water.
It's similar,
and like eels were like going into it trying to find food in it, and they'd actually go mad. These eels would just go insane because of like they were exposed to it for that long. It was actually mental. Like these eels were coming out and go, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it was a mad scene to see. But
no, I definitely need to get on that. I didn't realize it had restarted recently.
yeah, you should definitely watch Blue Planet too, because the shots are amazing. Yeah, I love it.
Cool. I'll be watching that. Got nothing else, have we? Until Simpsons.
I'm all done.
All done, mate.
All right. Let's chat Simpsons then. In general, let's just move this. Woohoo! That wasn't my best Simpsons. What's the best woohoo?
It's more like a woohoo. No, that's
that was good.
Either.
That was good.
No.
Yeah. So where should we start with the Simpsons?
Where do we want to start? Can I jump into an episode straight off, or
yeah, of course.
Which one do you want? Cape Fear or Homer's Enemy?
I think save Homer's Enemy till the end.
Okay.
Or at least the last of the episodes, just because I think it's the best one, at least from recent memory.
No, that's a good
my
show.
favourite.
Yep. Cape Fear. We both watched this one. Yeah. Cape Fear, where Sideshow Bob makes his comeback in Series 5 to try and finish what he started by killing killing Bart,
killing himself
back in Series 1. The first thing you notice with this episode is there's no B plot. Normally in Simpsons, they always have a B plot. Like in Homer's Enemy, Bart's buying a warehouse just for no reason whatsoever. This one doesn't have anything like that. It's just Bart trying to be killed by Sideshow Bob. I mean, how do you want me to do it? I've just got so many jokes from this episode to talk about. Well, we'll go from the start. It opens with a clip of McBain doing like a live television audience show, and he comes out and makes a comment about how one of the the bass player is like, "Oh, nice jacket, Kenny. You look like a homosexual," and everyone's like, "Boo!" It's like, "Oh, maybe you're all homosexuals too." And it just ends there.
Speaking of McBain, I'll just jump in. I've spoke to John about this off the show, Nick, but I'm going to fill you in on it. Did you know all the scenes, not all, probably not all, but a lot of the scenes for McBain, if you put them in order, they make a fully functioning full film.
Really?
So, yeah, it's on YouTube, so you can just go and watch it. But basically, the Simpsons TV show has hidden a real film inside of a TV show. So if you stitch together all the McBain scenes, you get a fluid mini film.
Really?
Where even though it's got the jokes in it that you laugh at when you're watching them, they're all part of the same story. So even the one where McBain is like having food and his mate gets shot basically and goes down and he's like, Mendoza, like that. And then a few scenes later, you see him with Mendoza, and then he's like, going after him. And stuff. Or the one where he's like, in the ice statue. It's a statue of a woman, and you just see these massive, muscly arms just punch out. And then the salmon puff thing. He goes, "Would you like a salmon puff?" And he goes, "Okay." And then he eats it, and then it just puffs into this ball of gas, and then he's just been knocked out. But,
that's good.
It's a full film basically. It's worth watching. It's on YouTube. Someone else has done the hard work of stitching it together.
He is great, McBain, played by Rainier Wolfcastle.
Yeah, sorry,
He's a legend. Yeah. Just going back to the episode, Bart's been getting threatened by Sideshow Bob, and they're sending threatening letters. And I love this bit where in the hallway, Homer opens a letter. Goes, "Oh my God, someone's trying to kill me!" "Oh no, wait, it's for Bart." She hands it off to Bart. And then when they're trying to work out who sent the letters, they've got them all laid out on the table. They're like, God, they're all written in blood, apart from this one. And Homer's like, no, I sent that one. Bart was annoying me.
There's the one where it says, is it later in the episode where Bob's trying to explain the meaning of one of the letters, and it says "die, Bart, die."
Oh, it's in court for his custody, it's parole hearing.
Yeah,
and I love the lawyer who plays the lawyer for Sideshow Bob. It's like just the way he talks. It's like, Sideshow Bob, so you don't want to kill Bart, but why have you got "die, Bart, die" tattooed on your chest? It's like, oh no, wait, it's German for the Bart,
the Bart, the.
And like one of the Joes is like, no one who speaks German can be evil.
We did mention that Sideshow Bob's obviously voiced by Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer, yeah.
One of the best voice actors in Simpsons, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Doing that character.
Yeah, great actor. He was in Cheers. He was in Frasier. He was in the Expendables 3 for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, what was his? What's Sideshow Bob's brother called? Is it Cedric?
Oh, Cedric.
He's the brother of Frasier, isn't he?
He's Niles from Frasier. Right. Yeah,
I really like that.
It's a great little nod, like yeah. Just in the court scene where it's the parole hearing for Sideshow Bob. Chief Wiggum's on the stand saying like, Sideshow Bob has no decency. He called me Chief Piggum, and just everyone starts laughing. It's like, oh, I finally get that. It was quite good. Then it cuts to where Sideshow Bob's finally catching up with Bart in the cinema. Do you remember this at all? It's clearly a rip-off from Cape Fear, and they're all the Simpsons are trying to watch a nice film in the cinema, and Sideshow Bob's smoking a cigar behind them, just laughing obnoxiously. And Bart's going, Marge is going, that guy is so rude. And the camera pans over to Homer, who's got an even bigger cigar. And he's like, yeah, he is. Love that. There's one bit where, again, Sideshow Bob carries on his reign of terror, driving around the streets with a megaphone, just saying, the following residents will not be killed by me. Ned Flanders, Maud Flanders, Homer Simpson, Marge Simpson, Lisa Simpson, that little baby Simpson. That is all. And Homer runs in going, oh, Bart, did he hear? Oh. Sorry. Love that. Little 49ers reference, American football. Did you catch this, you guys? Where
go on.
Homer, they say, like, you can have a new identity because they're going on the run to hide out. And Homer says, oh, can I be John Elway? And he has a little dream sequence of being John Elway playing for the Denver Broncos against my 49ers, my team, in the Super Bowl Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl final.
Super Bowl. And he scores a touchdown, and it's like, oh, there you go, John Elway with the last touchdown in the game. Final score, Denver 7, San Francisco 56. Little joke on the fact that back then the 49ers won the Super Bowl every year and just wiped out the Broncos like 15-0 every year. Like, like that. We go from there to...
I loved all the references in this to like Hannibal and stuff. Like the amount of Hannibal references I've seen in this.
What do you think so? It's mainly Cape Fear, really.
Like in the I think there was a nice there was a parade that went past.
Oh yeah,
and that said Hannibal. I think that actually said Hannibal on it.
Oh no, that's Hannibal as in the famous warlord Hannibal crossed the Alps with elephants.
Oh, is that what it was?
It's elephants, yeah.
But like the place he was in as well.
Terror Lake.
Bates Motel. He was in Bates Motel when he was writing one of his letters.
Oh right.
So I thought like these were all references to Hannibal.
They will be, yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was good. They have a choice of places to go to, and it's like Screamville, Terror Lake.
I like that.
I like that. And they go Screamville. And he's got, oh, Ice Creamville. They're like, no, Screamville. He goes,
that bit where they're trying to redo their identities, and Homer just cannot get it. It's
and they're like, look, when I say hello, Mr. Thompson, and stamp on your foot, you say hi. It's like, hello, Mr. Thompson. And Homer turns to the guy next to him and goes, I think he's talking to you.
It's the fact that they've got like a fag on the go and everything in the background. They're like, oh my God.
We pretty much cut from there to the bit where, there's one bit you mentioned about the elephants. I just love that scene where Sideshow Bob, this is a Cape Fear thing again, like he's clipped to the underside of a car, and that's like a direct Cape Fear rip-off. And he drops off from the car, and Bart's like, oh, Sideshow Bob, it's you trying to kill me. And it's like, what? There's no law against lying in a public street. And then the elephants just walk out of nowhere, start crushing him. He's like, I'm not the elephants. Loved that. just a couple of last things. They finally get on the houseboat to get away from Sideshow Bob. We mentioned in work the scene where Homer keeps barging in and scaring Bart. And it's he finally comes in, like he knows that Bart's on edge, and he comes in at the end and goes, Bart, check out my new Chainsaw and hockey mask. And he's like, oh, the Sideshow Bob thing. That was quite good. Then after that, one little scene where Sideshow Bob's finally caught Bart, and he's got the family all tied up, and it cuts to the family. And they're all struggling to get free, and Homer's like out for the count. And Lisa's like, oh my God, Dad's been drugged. Marge goes, no, he hasn't. That was good. And finally it finishes with Sideshow Bob doing the HMS Pinafore, the entire routine of the HMS Pinafore. And they only get caught because they float past the brothel and all the police come out to arrest them. So that was quite good. And one of the final lines is where like Chief Wiggum finally catches them and Bart says, take him away, boys. It's like, hey, that's my line. Bake him away, toys. Like, what, Chief?
Okay. Are they the points for you?
That's everything.
For me, I don't know whether I've watched this episode one too many times because it used to be on BBC Two all the time.
Yeah,
like it was always on. Like this isn't one of my favourite Simpsons episodes.
Oh, really?
No, like
I love this.
I like it, but I could probably, if I rewatched the whole first 10 seasons of The Simpsons before it starts going down,
I'd say so. Yeah,
I'd like. If I watched all of those episodes, I could probably think about 10, 15 that would be better than this one. Or at least, in my opinion, like what I like to watch. But yeah, because there are funny moments and there are good moments. It's well written. It's obviously got the whole Cape Fear sort of
takeoff thing.
But for me, like I've watched better episodes of The Simpsons this week.
I always love this one. Yeah. And the whole Sideshow Bob rake thing when he's walking from rake to rake.
Classic. Yeah. It's got some classic moments in it. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the episode now? As a whole?
I mean, are you aware of my opinion on The Simpsons?
No.
I'm not actually the biggest fan of it.
You're not?
Yeah. I watched like 4 episodes in the movie.
Yeah.
The past couple of days, and I got one laugh out of the entire thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was the most.
Do you think Nick's from a different generation than me and you, John?
It was.
I don't know.
I got a laugh out of the end of the monorail episode. It was when Spock, someone said Spock went, I've done exactly what I planned to do, and he went, you didn't do anything. He went, oh, did I? And then just beamed off, and I got a laugh out of that, and that was my only laugh out of the entire thing.
Right. Yeah. We'll towards the end, we'll come on to what The Simpsons actually means to us, because I think it probably means a different thing to the three of us.
Yeah,
I think it's regarded as like the best sitcom of all time, kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, like to us.
I think to everyone apart from Nick. I think it is generally regarded as like the best.
Like I was talking to my brother. I think it might be like something to do with us though, because like I was talking to my brother the other day, and he was like, "Oh, I've not heard about your podcast recently." I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're doing The Simpsons this weekend," and you're like, "Oh yeah, don't really care much for The Simpsons." So like both me and my brother have the same opinion, and I'm wondering if like, because as a kid, my mum never really let us watch any like adult cartoons kind of thing. You know what I mean? So by the time it's what
hentai,
like she considered like The Simpsons as like adult cartoons, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
see, I was watching South Park at like 7 or 8 years old.
That's what I mean. Like I was never allowed to watch any of this kind of thing. So by the time like I was actually able to watch this kind of thing, like it was, I think they're probably into the shit era of Simpsons. You know what I mean?
Fair point then.
So I just don't have any good memories of these shows. So when I watch it now, I'm like, yeah, it's just a bit slow, isn't it?
How old are you now? If you don't mind me asking.
27.
27. See, I'm 28, 29 next year. So we're not that.
There's not a big gap. I genuinely think it's because of like the fact that we just weren't watching it as a kid. Yeah. I've got no childhood memories of watching The Simpsons.
Maybe it's like me with Star Wars, because I have no memories of Star Wars because I never watched that as a kid, and as a result, I hate it as an adult.
I mean, I don't know though. I was like 18 when I first watched the Frank Grimes episode. You know what I mean? I was like an adult when I was watching it.
Yeah, but back then that was The Simpsons was good.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like
I don't
you've
think it's a
met-
childhood thing. I don't think you have to
Oh, no, I
watch
don't
as a
think
kid to like it.
No, I don't mean that. I mean like it's the Frank Graham's episode, like you said. It came out when you were 18. Is that what you're saying?
No, well, 97, I think it was. Yeah.
Right, so you'd have been about 26 by then.
Yep.
Like, yeah, that could come out now, and I'd think it's funny. But it's a case of like all right, I'll talk about me growing up. When I was growing up, we would tape The Simpsons on BBC Two. Like, we'd just tape.
Yeah.
Oh, was it BBC Two? It must have been.
Yeah, BBC Two. Like, was it like 6:30 or something?
Straight after Ready
6
Steady
o'clock.
Cook.
6 o'clock, and then at 20. I think it was Ready Steady Cook, Simpsons at 6, and then Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at 25 past 6. So, and then on Friday they'd do like a double bill of The Simpsons. I think that's what I remember them doing. But yeah, so we taped it, and I remember having the old tapes, and we'd have like Simpsons 1, or you'd have like videos, and we had about Simpsons 8. That's how many videotapes we had just taped of just Simpsons episodes.
Yeah.
So we just watched loads of it as a kid, and yeah, like me and my sister would watch it, and I've grown up with The Simpsons until I got to like teenagers, and then I was like, oh, Simpsons, I've watched that all. I'm done with The Simpsons. So as a teenager, I didn't watch any Simpsons. So when the film came out in 2007, I had no interest in watching that film. So when you two, I was shocked by your reaction like a couple of weeks ago when I said I'd not seen the film, and you two were like, "What? Like, you've not seen the Simpsons film?" And like, I was took aback by the reaction. But then I watched the film, which we'll go on to in a bit. We're not going to go into it yet, but I watched it. And then I was like, oh, that was good. Like, I'll go read about it. So I went and read about it. Saw it came out in 2007. And I was shocked that it came out that long ago. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, in my head, that came out like 3 or 4 years ago. Like, that's how little I've thought about The Simpsons for what, over a decade. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. Like, after the movie, I just lost interest kind of thing.
but I lost interest years before the movie to the point where I just wasn't even recognizing The Simpsons. I was watching Family Guy and stuff, which you're not a massive fan of, John.
No.
But no, like we were talking about, like watching like adult cartoons and stuff as a kid. Like I would sneak and watch South Park because it was on Channel 4, 10:30. It's funny how you remember these exact times.
See, that's what I mean. If I was caught with my TV on past 9 o'clock, I was in shit.
So I'd sneak a few episodes of South Park in, and when you were a kid, like probably 9, 10, 11, that sort of thing, South Park you should not be watching at that age. But you would watch that knowing that you weren't getting half the jokes because some of them were just dark. You just knew you weren't getting a lot of the references, but you'd enjoy it because it was like, oh look, animation. Like that's how I always looked at it, and you'd enjoy it as a kid. But Simpsons was the one that I spent most of my time watching, and then Futurama when that came around.
I watched Futurama. Like I've watched every single episode of that like several times. Like I love Futurama. I don't know. Like I've tried watching The Simpsons before, and it bores me. I'm not gonna lie. It actually bores me like a lot. I can kind of understand why people like it so much, but I don't know. It just doesn't.
I find that weird that you like Futurama and not The Simpsons. Because it's literally the same same comedy style.
Yeah, I think that probably goes into the fact that I'm very much a sci-fi fan. Like that's probably more to do with that than the fact it's the same comedy style or anything.
It's like The Simpsons in space on
Earth.
Earth.
I like the fact it's in space more than anything.
But I mean, I don't like stuff like that about comedies. I just like whether it's funny or not. I don't care whether it's set, who's in it.
Yeah, I don't even think that's it. But like, it's if it's good for me, if it piques my interest, then I'll watch it. But Simpsons just never did. It just never.
Maybe you just missed the boat on it, and then when something becomes like Star Wars for me, I missed the boat on it. I was like, I'm not interested in Star Wars.
No, I'm the same with Star Wars. Like, I think I definitely missed the boat on that. I reckon if I was brought up on it, I'd be as big a fan as you, John, but I've definitely missed the boat on that one.
I don't get that attitude though, like missing the boat. If something is good for me, it doesn't matter when I watch it, I'm gonna like it, kind of thing.
I don't know, like whether it's almost shallow of me saying this, or maybe it's psychologically this is how people are at work. But I always like grew up like not watching Star Wars and not interested, and then when people go, oh, I love Star Wars, I'd be like, I hate it, because I'd have to take the opposite approach to it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that just ingrains in you over a few years to the point where now if you said, oh yeah, do you want to watch Star Wars, I'd be like, no I don't. You could say it's the best film ever, And I'd go, it's Star Wars.
I wouldn't say that, but
It's the best 9 films ever. I'd be like, no.
that might be the same with me because I'd never really had an opinion of it, but people used to say to me, "Oh, you should definitely watch that. You like sci-fi, you'll like that." and I'd never seen it in my life, and I'd go, "Yeah, but that's not sci-fi. That's science fantasy. That I'm not into science fantasy." And then I watched it one time, and I won't lie, I didn't hate the films. I just weren't. I weren't like a big fan of it. I weren't immediately a big fan of it. But like I think that delves more into my interest rather than like the film itself.
I think it's the way the culture like almost builds up around something. So like I would say, me and you, I think you like Family Guy, don't you, Nick?
I do. Yeah.
Like we both can watch it and enjoy it. John over here doesn't like Family Guy. Never watched an episode.
not because of culture or anything. I can literally go through an episode and say, "This is shit comedy. That is shit. That is shit."
I wonder if you
say-
watched episode 1 of Family Guy now, not knowing, not having heard of any of it.
Yeah.
I bet you'd enjoy it.
Like,
guarantee I wouldn't.
I will
I can't guarantee it because you haven't seen it.
I will admit, like you say, we both like it. I'll go and say I liked it because that fell off the boat fucking years ago. That show.
Yeah, it's gone down.
Like about this. Like I think it's on season 15 or something now. Like that fell off like season 8 or something.
But this, I think a lot of cartoons for some reason just drop off. Yeah. South Park for me is the only one that's actually
like South Park's got progressively better.
But then some people think that's got progressively worse.
No.
Some people think, you can only watch the first 4 seasons of South Park and the rest of it's shit. Whereas,
I don't know, that is really good now. So, the
series, first 4 seasons, like.
Oh no, so I think they're the weakest, if anything. Early on,
yeah.
I definitely think that's got better over the years.
I mean, I can't think of any other cartoons that have gone on for so long that are still funny to me. Because there have been a few episodes for South Park where you're like, this is just not.
Yeah,
as good.
they have the filler episodes, don't they, kind of thing and stuff. Yeah.
Simpsons obviously went downhill, but I can't even speak for that. I'm just saying what other people have said because
I've not even watched it since like 2007.
Everybody says Simpsons has gone downhill. Everyone says Family Guy's gone down in like recent years. Yeah. Futurama stopped because like
I think that was getting better than ever. And then they cancelled it.
Futurama went the same way as Family Guy though. Where follow me on this one. Like Family Guy got cancelled and Futurama got cancelled. And then based on DVD sales, Family Guy ended up getting recommissioned. It was a similar thing for Futurama. It was like a cult sort of uprising almost, wanting more Futurama. And they got like another season out of Futurama. And I think they were going to do another one.
They did like 4 films as well.
Yeah, so they did loads. And then it was like, right, we're done again with Futurama. It's finished. And it's like, people are going to keep going, I want Futurama back next year.
I was going to say, I'm sure there was news this year where they were saying we've got all the original voice actors back.
Don't do it. Just leave it. Like I do a film every 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
But with like Family Guy and that, like I did enjoy like the first couple of seasons. There was some good songs and stuff in it that I enjoyed, but I don't know. Family Guy, not Family Guy. American Dad. That was so much better for me. Like that was.
I like American Dad.
I think that was so much better than Family Guy. I don't know. That's another obviously adult. But like they tried something else. They tried the Cleveland show. They tried to do a spin-off of Family Guy, and that just fucking died after a season. Like it's not always going to be good, is it?
No. I suppose Rick and Morty's the one these days.
Rick and Morty's the one that everyone loves.
I've not watched it yet.
I've watched a few episodes and it was fun. I think you mentioned an episode where they go into someone and there's like a
homeless man. Yeah.
But
like I've watched enough of that to know that it's funny. Like it is funny, but it's for me it's almost building up too much of a following where people think they're smarter because they watch Rick and Morty.
Well, there's a lot of memes. I don't know if you've seen them on the Shire posting page, but there's a lot of memes going around about how like. He watches Rick and Morty. His IQ's 160, kind of.
Yeah, but it's like,
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's for me. It's like we're in the age now of the internet and memes and stuff, and Rick and Morty taps into that. Not so much that it's just all about memes because it's really not. It's just a normal TV show, but because it's almost it's growing in this age where the internet's much worse and much more horrible than it used to be, which I think's true. Like. You're going to get this where people are going to hate Rick and Morty because of Rick and Morty fans. Like, the fans around something, people start hating it without ever seeing it.
I actually can't remember. I can't remember what it is, but there's definitely been something in the past where I absolutely despise it purely because of the fans around it. It might be music, to be fair, but
Just general music.
no, not just all music, but some band I probably hate because of it.
Yeah,
like
but that's just, I think that's the way people are wired. It's like when they see loads of people band together and start almost rubbing people's faces in it, going, "Oh look, I watch Rick and Morty. I'm dead smart."
Yeah.
it's Harry Potter. Sorry, just realised. It's the fans of Harry Potter. I don't like Harry Potter because of the fans of Harry Potter.
Talking about Harry Potter though, it's like I was similar to that. I was like, "Oh, Harry Potter, boring." Like I was like, I'd watch one film, but the fans just do my head in. And then over the space of a week towards the end of last year, they were all on over a few weeks over Christmas. Watched all the films, and I came out of that going, I really like that Harry Potter, like that that Harry guy.
Yeah.
Like I really like those films. They're good films.
See, I was a fan of. I've read the books twice. I've read them like several times, and like I was what you'd probably call a fan of Harry Potter.
A pothead.
A pothead, yeah. I was probably what you'd call a pothead. and then fans just got in my head of it, and I was like, that's such a crap fucking series of films and books. What am I doing with my life? I mean, I enjoyed the books twice, but the fans have just turned me away from it. So
I suppose the point of what we're saying is that fandoms can ruin something.
They definitely can.
It can turn everyone against it.
They definitely can, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, all right. Let's get back onto Simpsons. quite the tangent.
We did go off a bit there, didn't we?
Yeah, that was a bit.
Like we've gone on. Yeah.
All right, let's
get off it.
let's get on to back on Simpsons. I want to talk about the monorail episode.
Oh yeah.
I think that episode has got the best Simpsons song on it. Now, there's a few good ones, like really good ones, classics. See My Vest.
That's the best one for me.
Well, yeah, it's a classic one, definitely. However, the monorail one, I don't think you can beat that.
That's the.
It's great.
It's the one that most people, I reckon, know all the words to.
Yeah.
All, most of them. The ring fell off my pudding can.
Take my penknife, my good man.
Although I did just get a word wrong there. The ring came off my pudding can. Can't even speak. Pudding pan.
I could probably do the See My Vest song all the way through.
Go on then.
See my vest, made from real gorilla chest. See this sweater, there's no better than authentic Irish setter. See this hat, 'twas my cat, evening wear, vampire bat. These white slippers are albino, African endangered rhino. Grizzly bear underwear, turtlenecks, I've got my share. Button array of poodle on my noodle is that? No, I've lost it there.
No,
I've lost that
you
bit.
Well, you were doing it in the style of William Shatner. Have you ever heard?
Yeah.
Have you heard William Shatner singing?
Singing.
Have you heard him doing the WWE themes?
Oh, I've not heard that.
Oh, it's amazing. He's. Do you remember Rey Mysterio? Well, I'm just going to go into this for a minute, but do you remember Rey Mysterio? It was like Booyaka Booyaka 619.
Oh, I was thinking of John Cena's. I was thinking of.
He did. William Shatner did Rey Mysterio's. It was like Booyaka Booyaka 619. Or he did Triple H's as well, which is it's time to play the game, and it's just William Shatner going, "It's time to play the game." It's just amazing. But yeah, like that. I don't think that song's as good as Monorail. Like,
It is definitely good. I'll give you that.
When they're actually in the town hall, and Marge obviously wants to fix Main Street because it's just
the
ruined,
potholes, yeah.
potholes everywhere, and she says the reason for the potholes is because people are carrying too much weight and they've left chains on the tires, when it's like been snowy or whatever. And then it just cuts to Homer driving his car with like a grand piano on the top of his car with chains wrapped around his wheels. And he's like, "Woo, look at that pavement fly." So it's just wrecking the street.
Can I just say, like, I know I said it was boring before, but like when I watched it, I didn't get any laughs. But like listening to you talk about it, I'm finding it so much more funny just like listening to you talk about it. Honestly, I'm getting so many, like, I'm actually finding it hilarious hearing you talk about it, but watching it, I just didn't get it at all.
It's the way that some of it gets said though. It's great.
Yeah, it's the delivery and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, so when they're in the town hall and they're trying to, spend Mr. Burns' money that he's been fined, Marge's idea of fixing Main Street Grandpa Simpson pipes up because he's against the idea. But he goes, "We could spend all our money fixing Main Street," and everyone's like, "That's a great idea." And everyone's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "We could fix all the potholes," and everyone starts cheering for it.
Yeah,
don't they carry him out on the arms?
it's really, they're all cheering. He's like, no. He's like, yeah.
he's like, I was a kid. Oh, fuck
They just carry him out on their arms, like, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously they decide to spend all the money on the monorail, which is where the great song comes in.
Yeah. Leonard Nimoy is good in it.
I have a bit about Leonard Nimoy. Leonard.
We have got a.
I've got a bit about Leonard Nimoy to do. Like,
we have got that cameo, and like I love that cameo. like I say, I'm not the biggest fan of The Simpsons, but I enjoyed that cameo in it.
The thing with Leonard Nimoy being on it, have you heard that they pitched the idea of him actually, teleporting away at the end in Star Trek fashion? They pitched the idea to Matt Groening, like, we want him to do this at the end of the episode, not thinking he'd buy it because he didn't like anything that was outside of the whole. At the time, he didn't like anything outside of The Simpsons.
The reality of the show, kind of.
Yeah,
thing,
and they thought he wouldn't buy it, but he was like, "No, it's funny. we'll have that in there," because he was playing. Leonard Nimoy was playing Spock.
He was, yeah,
in the show. So
right.
He was playing Spock, so they borrowed the Star Trek lore, and they allowed that to happen.
Yeah,
like I say, that bit actually made me laugh, and that gave me a giggle because, like, obviously, I think he says to someone, like, I've completed my mission, and some guy turns around and goes, well, "You've not actually done anything." It's like, "Oh, did I?" And he just beams off. I actually giggled at that. That made me laugh.
I thought he was definitely a credit to the episode.
Definitely,
yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on the monorail one because we've got one other episode in the film to talk about, and this next episode we're going to talk about.
Before we go off the monorail, I just want to, like, there was one other bit which made me giggle a bit, and it was the guy that, like, sold the monorail to them.
Lyle,
he's about to fly off, and Lisa says to him, like, "Oh, why didn't you come and have a ride on the monorail?" And he says, "Oh no, I've got to go." It's like, "Oh, it only takes a minute." It's like, "My flight's in less than a minute." that made me laugh.
And I like Homer's costume as well. Quite snazzy.
It's very Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's very heavily based on the Star Wars.
It's got a cape.
Is it the Imperial uniform? That
I don't think so. It's just a.
What is it? It's supposed to be Star Wars, like, based on that.
Yeah, got a snazzy cape and stuff. And
Are you sure it's not? All right, is it not one of those, like, little lackeys or something in the Death Star?
Is it right?
That's what I felt.
That's
I know it's a Star Wars based costume.
I thought it was one of those lackeys that stand in the
Stormtrooper.
No, the humans which are, like, in the docking bay. I feel like it's one of
black
them.
outfit, black cap, very very Nazi.
Was it black? I thought it was white.
No, he's got like a black outfit on.
Oh, maybe it is then. Yeah,
I thought it was like one of those guys in the docking bay of Star Wars.
I think it is. I mean, that's what the connection is. Right, I want to move on to Homer's Enemy, which is of recent memory my favorite Simpsons episode because there's just so much in it. It's the premise of the entire thing's just
it is amazing.
Have you got notes, John? You've got
just
notes
to mention before we got onto it, Nick will know what I'm talking about. I spent, like, the last year in work trying to turn Cassie into Frank Grimes, pretty much. Winded her up, driving her mad. Yeah. She left before got to the final stage, but
you had your impact.
Yeah. I mean, are you saying that you were essentially trying to push Cassie into killing herself?
I'm not saying that, but but it was a very Frank Grimes kind of relationship. Yeah,
it was very much like I like you've said this before, and I only watched this episode for the first time yesterday, and I was watching it and going, this is definitely what John was going for with Cassie.
There's a bit of Jono in here as well. Actually, Jono we mentioned before, been on the show a few times.
Oh right,
where Homer at one point Homer walks in and he just starts going, what was it now? Take me down to the ball game. Just starts wandering around. I do that with John quite a lot. Look in his bag, see what food he's got and stuff. Jono's the next victim. That's quite good. But should we just go through the notes in order?
Yeah.
We'll start off with we actually have a B plot in this one, which is Bart buying a warehouse, which is just mental.
Yeah.
But it does tie into the A plot later.
For a book, if I recall.
For a book, yeah.
Yeah.
The auction
I
guy.
love that auction though.
Yeah, the
This is
auction guy.
There's a few auction people in there, and then just nobody's buying it, and Bart's like, a buck.
And he's like, a buck of here, blah, 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 a buck, blah. That was quite good. I'm going to pick up with, we've already met Frank Grimes, the established that he's got like, he just struggles with everything in life kind of thing.
Wasn't he abandoned at like the age of 4 or
Age of
something?
4, yep.
And he basically had to...
He had no school.
Yeah, he had no school. He got blew up by a silo explosion.
I forgot about that. His show just in his hospital bed, just like...
It's like he had to learn to feel pain again. He got a job as a child delivering presents to more privileged children. Oh, it's just amazing.
But we'll pick it up where like Mr. Burns is giving him a job, but he gets bored of him straight away.
Well, he basically is watching a video of him, like it's like one of those heartwarming videos that we see on like Facebook these days, and he's like, I want this guy. This guy's inspirational. He's like a self-made man like me.
Yeah.
And then like
I wanted to be my new vice president.
He sends Smithers off to get him, doesn't he? And
Yeah.
Smithers comes back, and then and he's like, oh no, he doesn't come back. Before he goes, actually, I think he's like,
I think it's one day.
he watches, he sees a dog though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He's
dog
like, I want
video.
this as my vice president.
Yeah, and he's like, well, that's all well and good, but what about Frank Grimes? And it's like, yeah, put him somewhere. But did you notice the dog's actually there later on?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that, didn't see
He's
it.
actually vice president with a little cloak on.
that was at the funeral, wasn't it?
It was the bit where the wall gets burnt down. And he's like, who did this, my beautiful wall?
Oh God, yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah,
dog's
yeah.
with him.
That's amazing.
Is that the funeral as well? The dog?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. We'll pick it up with the bit where we meet Frank Grimes. He meets Homer. He's not impressed with Homer. But he comes into the lunchroom and Homer's just eating his special diabetic lunch. And it's like, Simpson, that's my special diabetic lunch. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, it's clearly marked. Please be more careful next time. So he eats a bit more of it and gives it back to him. Frank Grimes bins it, and then Homer goes in the bin to try to get it out the bin. That's amazing.
It's the moment where every time he looks back, Homer's just not doing it. But
Yeah.
every time he turns his back, he's just trying to get into the bin again.
Yeah, it squeaks a little bit closer. The next bit is the bit where Homer just wanders into his office, and Frank Grimes is like, Simpson, I'd appreciate it if you stayed at my office. It's like, boy, I've had a nickel every time I heard that. Just start singing randomly, take me down to the ball game.
Yeah.
And Frank Grimes is like, Simpson, you've got a 5:13. Homer just looks at his watch. He's like, no, Simpson, a 5:13. Homer checks his watch again. And it's like, oh, a 5:30, and I'll take care of it. And just pours water all over his keyboard.
To the horror of Frank Grimes.
Yeah, we go from there to Homer back in the lunchroom, eating his lunch. And Frank Grimes is like, God, he's disgusting. He's like, eats like a pig. And Lenny's like, no, it's more like a duck. just swallowing food whole.
I like at this bit, obviously, when Frank Grimes is talking to Lenny and Carl. I think it's at this bit as well. Or is it this bit?
Yeah.
He talks to Lenny and Carl a couple of times, but each time he talks to them, he gets more progressively like just surprised that nobody's really clicked on to who Homer is and like
why it's so useless.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when he's introducing his degrees, obviously this is before what you mentioned there. He's like, oh yeah, this is where I keep my nuclear physics degree. I'm sure you've all got one. And like Lenny and Carl, who are obviously smart people, like, oh yeah, we've got our degrees. Homer though, Homer just turned up the day the plant opened. But that's obviously where it starts. And then you see them later and they're all eating food.
Homer's like, I don't even know what a nuclear powder plant was.
I don't even know what a powder plant was.
I like the bit how Lenny introduced himself. He goes, I'm Lenny, this is Carl, that's Homer. I'm Lenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Homer's eating, goes to take a swig of sulfuric acid by mistake. Frank Grimes knocks it out of his hand and burns the wall down. It's like, you idiot, you almost drank sulfuric acid. It's like, God, my face would have been red. It's like, you nearly died, you idiot. And then Mr. Burns walked past and goes, who did this to my beautiful wall? And Homer just goes, he did.
But it's awful though, because like Homer's such a he's not only a dope, he's like just does everything to not get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's I
the
love
part.
the way he'll just sell anyone out just to like even his family at times like
just to protect themselves.
Yeah. And one little comment before that as well. Frank Grimes says, I caught him asleep the other day in a nuclear suit on a coat hook. Lenny's like, yeah, you had 3 beers at lunch. That'd make anyone sleepy.
Yeah.
That was good.
This is the world of Springfield, isn't it? Where nobody really clicks on to how stupid Homer is until the film. But like it's fully shows in this episode, doesn't it? Where people just haven't clicked on.
Just drive people mad kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like Frank Grimes is almost like the human looking into Springfield and just seeing what's going on with Homer and how he's just managed to just get away with absolute murder for just years.
Yeah. Just one little scene I like. Homer's in the bar telling Mo about, God, this guy at work hates me and stuff. And it's like, you need to get an enemies list and add him to your enemies list. And he shows him his one. And Barney takes a look at it and goes, wait a minute, this is Richard Nixon's enemies list. You've just crossed out his name and put yours. And Mo takes it back and goes, just add Barney Gumball. It's quite good. Yeah, so we'll go from there to Homer trying to make up with Frank Grimes. He invites him around for dinner to come around for some lobster. And do you remember this scene at all?
Yeah.
He invites him round and Frank Grimes is like, well, what is it, Simpson? I'm on my way to my night job at the, wherever it is, the foundry or something. And it's like, yeah, just invited you around for dinner, meet my family, my beautiful wife Marge, my son Bart owns a factory downtown, my son Lisa, my daughter Lisa with a 159 IQ or something. Yeah. And Frank Grimes just loses it.
It's the fact that he's obviously cooked lobster for Frank Grimes to come over. And lobster's obviously the poshest thing you can sort of cook. But Frank Grimes almost takes that as like, I've just popped around and you're having lobster for the tea. I just happen to be having lobster in your palace.
When he was walking out, it was like, you live in a palace, you've got a beautiful wife, a kid with a factory downtown, and lobster for dinner. I love the way he barges out. It's like, Simpson, you're what's wrong with America. You know, you're everything that's wrong. He barges out. It's nice to meet you. Walks out.
It's the way the family look at Homer and go,
yeah, it's got kind of got a point. Yeah, so then we go from there right to the end where, to show him up, he puts him into a power plant design competition.
This is a classic scene in The Simpsons.
Yeah. Puts him into a power plant design competition. Which Homer then goes on to win. And yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it? Frank Grimes has a complete meltdown.
I love the fact that he won it. Like, he had that little German kid. Is he German? And he's got this like proper futuristic power plant idea, and it looks amazing. But Burns gives it to him because it's basically his power plant, but with flaps on the side. And a speed stripe down the middle.
Added flaps for wind resistance, and this racing strap is quite standard.
But it's the way Mr. Burns goes, but just doesn't click on whether it's Homer, the safety officer of the plant. This is what I mean, where Frank Grimes is like, he's won a child's contest, and like Lenny and Colin is like, yeah.
This is a contest for children. Yeah, and Homer beat the brains out. And he goes on a meltdown around the plant, just going, I'm going to the toilet without washing my hands and going back to work, but it's okay because I'm Homer Simpson.
But obviously, he obviously ends up dying because he pulls some highly dangerous electrical wires.
But it's okay because I'm Homer.
But it obviously cuts to the funeral. And then it's Homer snoring at the funeral. He just fell asleep.
I love that. Like, even like he's going down, being laid into the floor, into the ground. Homer's like, change the channel, Marge.
But then everyone's like, that's Homer. It's just,
it's great.
What an episode.
It's amazing.
All right, let's move on to the Simpsons film.
Yep.
Are we happy with that? Okay, I've got a synopsis for us. The combination of Homer, his new pet pig, and a leaky silo full of excrement triggers a disaster that threatens not just Springfield, but the entire world. An angry mob descends on the Simpson home, splitting the family. With Earth's fate in the balance, Homer sets out on a quest for redemption in order to save the world and earn Marge's forgiveness. So that's the synopsis of the film, which gives quite a lot away of the film.
That's essentially the plot of the film, isn't it? Like the entire plot.
So, I mean, I really liked the film. I
really like it.
Was it your first time watching it?
It was, yeah. So, I enjoyed it. It felt like a long episode. Now, like,
Yeah, I do really like it, but I remember when I first watched it, I thought it lost something when it left Springfield. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like it felt like The Simpsons after that so much. But
Yeah. No, like
for me, all the big laughs come like before they leave Springfield, kind of thing.
I think with most films though, not all, but the majority of the laughs are towards the start of the film.
Yeah,
and then it starts obviously getting more serious or
when
more dramatic.
The plot kicks in, kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. But, no, I enjoyed the film a lot. I liked the idea of having the dome come down.
Yeah.
It felt very much like that Stephen King.
Under the Dome.
Yeah. I think, did he write the book by that point? I think he did.
Did this predate the TV series Under the Dome?
It did.
Definitely the TV series. He wrote it was based on a book, wasn't it? From like, can you check that, Joe?
I know that Under the Dome. I'll get the name of the book.
I know Under the Dome definitely came after the film.
Yeah, the show did. Yeah,
definitely. But
just the book. I'm wondering whether.
Under the Dome, the novel.
I'm gonna guess 2005.
Came out in. Is your guess 2005?
Yeah.
2009.
Oh, so it's after. Yeah.
No,
So did
even the novel's after?
I did not know that. I thought the Dome was a reference to.
I did. Yeah, I just assumed it was like a play on the Stephen King.
I actually thought it was a reference.
So Stephen King's novel is a reference to the Simpsons film.
Yeah,
got the idea from this.
that's actually quite interesting. Like that.
There must have been the idea before of dropping a dome over somewhere. There must have been.
Genuinely, Stephen King genuinely could have got the idea from The Simpsons.
I imagine it takes more than a couple of years to write a novel, Stephen King novel.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
I don't know his latest novels. He's definitely churning these out now.
Can you imagine him like in 2007 going, "I've nearly finished my book like about like Under the Dome," and then he watches the Simpsons film and it's like, they've done my idea.
Can I just quickly go on to that? Like, I'm not a big fan of Stephen King's books anymore. They don't seem great anymore. But he writes 2 a year, and that for me is why they might not be so great. He's doing too many. You know, like he's got a book contract for 2 a year. Just calm it down.
He's actually got a contract for 2 a year.
Yeah.
Whoever written that contract needs to get their head checked.
Well, he must be getting paid a fortune for it, but it's too much. You know what I mean?
Like if like there was an offer, like I think one every 2 years might just be okay.
Yeah, and the book would be a lot better, I imagine, if it was time on it kind of thing.
You can't spend 6 months on a book.
I think he's wrote like 3 Mr. Mercedes books in the last 3 years, as well as 3 other books as well. Like, yeah. Sorry.
Just to give some background on where the film is and like goes. The film starts off with Green Day performing in Springfield.
It did. It was them playing themselves as well.
Yes.
Yeah, they go down like the Titanic, don't they?
At the memorial for Green Day, who've died in the film. Grandpa Simpson has a sort of religious moment, or
in the church right at the beginning.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So he has a moment, and he basically predicts like something's going to happen, and everybody's
E-bar something.
Yeah, and like a monster with like 1,000 eyes or whatever,
and curly tail.
Yeah, and Marge is obviously trying to figure it out like over the next few days, and this is where Spider Pig turns up.
How do you guys feel about Spider Pig?
I'm not too fussed on Spider Pig.
Like, that was the big advertising gimmick at the time, like the Spider Pig thing. And I was always like, there's funnier stuff than this in the film. I don't get why
I prefer Harry Plopper.
Plopper. He had a little scar as well, didn't it, and stuff, and glasses.
Yeah.
Maybe the Spider Pig thing was because it was the same summer as Spider-Man 3.
Possibly, yeah.
So they're just getting on the Spider-Man bandwagon kind of thing.
Yeah, possibly. So basically Homer adopts a pig, fills a silo up of the pig's excrement because he's not been dumping it properly. And also some of his own.
Yeah.
Which, like, okay. Lisa at this point is canvassing to save the lake because
she's met that Colin fellow or whatever his name.
Yeah, she meets I think it's Colin, like some Irish child who is also canvassing to save the environment.
Oh god, yeah.
But they basically put through a motion to stop dumping in the lake because it shows a few people dumping certain things in there. So it's like the likes of, is it Mr. Burns?
Yeah,
was one of
Mr.
them.
Burns, the crazy cat lady's
washing
like
cats
in there,
and Mo dropping off the bottles with Barney in there.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm home. So yeah, they're all dumping in there, and the lake's getting more and more polluted. So anyway, they end up dropping loads of signs there saying, do not pollute, like, do not drop your waste here, all this. And Homer, because the donut place is shutting down and giving away free donuts.
Oh yeah, he goes there first.
Yeah, he gets the call off Lenny. He's like, Homer, it's insane. They're giving away free donuts. It's closing down. And you hear Chief Wiggum in the background. He ends up shooting his own hat off because
he's got donuts on the gun.
and Homer had promised Marge that he has to dump it properly.
Yeah,
and he doesn't. He just jumps it in the lake. But it's the final straw because they said earlier, one more piece of anything that goes in that lake is just going to ruin it. And dumps the silo in there, causes a squirrel to mutate into a hideous monster
with a million eyes.
Yeah, and so Ned comes across it with Bart, and
at this point, Bart's kind of like he's kind of realizing that he wants Ned as his father, isn't he?
Yeah, because he's sick of having Homer sort of belittle him. It also shows him earlier on in the episode where he goes fishing with Ned. Oh, is it earlier or later? I don't know. But he goes fishing with Ned and he ends up like dropping Ned's fishing pole in the water. And he has this reflex to start the strangle animation. And he's like, wait, you're not strangling me. I thought that was funny.
That was good.
So yeah, he builds up quite the unlikely relationship with Ned because... Ned is like the perfect sort of dad almost.
Even Ned's own children are like, no, don't cut this out. Come on, stop it.
There's a bit at the end with Rod and Todd that I love. Like we'll come back to later.
Yeah, okay. So the EPA find this squirrel. That's the United States Environmental Protection Agency.
Oh, this is just after Bart starts poking out all the eyes, isn't it?
Yes.
Starts poking them out, and the EPA come along and go, poke one more eye, and it's a federal offence.
So Russ Cargill, who's the head of the EPA, gives unthinkable options to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Who's 5 options, wasn't it?
Yes, the US president. Basically, to keep the town's pollution contained. Yeah. And they come up with the idea of dropping a large glass dome over the top of
I mean, you say come up with an idea. He puts 5 options in front of him, and he says, like, pick one. And it's like, number 3. He's like, oh, you should probably read them. He's like, no, number 3. I'm the president. I pick 3.
Yeah, I was elected to lead, not to read.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. and he basically picks number 3, which is the big dome.
It's quite cinematic as well. How they fly it over. They just have loads of helicopters. And just fly it and drop it over Springfield.
Yeah,
which drops it right outside Homer's like back garden. And yeah, so at this point they're under the dome. They're all locked away. They've been contained so that whatever's gone on there doesn't get out. Maggie finds a hole in the sand pit.
She's just like bouncing up and down, isn't she?
But it leads to one of my favourite moments in the film, which is Marge spots Maggie on the other side of the dome and goes to grab Homer, comes back outside, and Maggie's like back in the garden. Marge is she just knows she saw Maggie on the other side of the dome. And Homer's there, and he basically says, puts his arm around Marge, is like, this dome can, they can play tricks on you. It can play tricks on the mind. And then he spots his own reflection in the dome, and he's like, hey, I'm outside of the dome. And then he turns around and goes, see you later, suckers. He's like, I'm free. And he just obviously runs off into the distance in the reflection, but he just ends up running back into the house. And he's like, what? So that made me proper chuckle. That bit.
That was good.
You just reminded me of a scene a bit earlier on in the film. I don't know if it's meant to be like the most funniest of scenes, but it was as the dome was coming down, there was a guy in the middle of it, and he was like, do I go on the do I go on the outside and be alone, but be able to do what I want, or do I go on the inside and I can't remember what he said, but he's so troubled for what to do, he ends up just getting crushed by the dome. And I thought that was a bit. That was quite funny.
So big dome comes on. That none of them can leave. No one can enter Springfield. It's all being kept secret. So it shows
from them inside, they're kind of conducting their own investigation at this point, aren't they?
They basically keep the spring. They wipe Springfield off the map basically. So they show a guy in a car. He's on a map. It shows a sat nav and it says Springfield, and it just disappears. And the road ends. So they've updated all the sat nav.
Was it next up on your left is nothing?
Yeah. Next point. Yeah. So they spend a few months in the dome, don't they?
How did they learn that it was Homer? Oh, they find the thing, don't they, with the initials on it?
Yes. So
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
they pick the silo up out of the water, and it's a property of Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
So they have mob justice basically, and Homer notices a glow of light coming towards the house, and it's everybody with torches coming to basically murder Homer.
I think it was a big deal at the time because it's like everyone from every episode ever in that shot marching towards the house kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, they burn the house down. Oh, sorry, they try and burn the house down. They go inside.
I love this though. Before they get to the house, and he's like, I can't remember exactly what he says, but he's saying something, and he mentions Grandad, and he's like, "Oh no!"
That's my favourite bit of this.
Go on, if you know what I'm on about. Then.
This is probably my funniest laugh in the film. This just before that, he's trying to keep people out by going, "Stay back! I've got a chainsaw." It's like, and they aren't fooled by that in the end, but. He's trying to lie to Marge, just to like make a reason why they can't get in the house. And it's like, they can't do that, they'll take Maggie. And they're like, no, Maggie's upstairs or whatever, she's fine. Well, they'll kill Grandpa. And you hear Grandpa going, I'm part of them.
This is a bit that I was going to say.
Oh, that's my favourite bit of the film. I love that.
Laugh.
Anyway, so to fast forward, they're in the tree house because they've managed to get across.
This is after they've been like literally like chased out of the house.
Yeah.
And like,
the pigs double crossed them as well when they were climbing over a plank. Homer's like, "Don't push that plank," and the pig just pushes the plank.
Yeah.
They all fall out.
Like before they're in the treehouse as well. Like the rest are in the treehouse, and Homer's like just there in the noose, just like
gets himself stuck in a noose.
He's literally stuck there with his arm and his head in the noose, just like, "Help, guys!"
Yeah. So they start rocking the tree back and forth, and they're going to try and get the Simpsons. Maggie ends up trying to tell them, just dive into the sandpit with me. And so she does and pops out.
Yeah.
So yeah, the rest of the family jump in. Then Homer jumps in.
I love that.
Homer gets stuck with his middle fingers up in the air.
The way he goes down like that.
You don't see that very often on The Simpsons. You can only get away with that and the nude Bart on a film, I reckon. You can only get away with those two things. But when his head's still exposed, they're like, quick, scratch his head.
I'm sure there's an arrow gets lodged in there as well.
that red arrow of Nelson, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's right,
Yeah. Yeah, Nelson painted an arrow red so he knew which one he'd killed. Quite like that. So they end up getting out.
I love the fact though that like he basically creates this giant black hole. When he
pulls everything into it. Yeah.
I love that.
So the Simpsons basically flee to Alaska.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, they make a stop off.
Not before we have the funny little scene with Lisa and Colin.
Oh yes.
Through the glass, and he's trying to sing her a song, but he ends up just writing the notes on the window. And I think Bart tries to say something, and she's about to say like, "Oh, I never thought I'd have the most perfect moment in my life." Bart comes along. I can't remember what he says, but
he says Lisa's got a boyfriend or something like that.
That was it, and she just basically sparked him out, and it's like the most perfect moment. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, so they end up going. They get to Alaska. So on the way, they end up picking up some money. Go to a motel.
I love that. He's got the map of Alaska in front of him, and he's like, it's amazing. and then they pull the map away. It's just a shit town. But this is after like they've nearly crashed because he's put the map in front of them all.
Yeah.
But then they end up in front of this amazing picturesque version of it.
To find out the photo was real. Like it's a real place.
Have we gone past the gas station bit yet, or Was that on the way there?
I think it was probably.
There's like a wanted poster up for the Simpsons.
Oh God,
Oh, it
yeah.
was.
So
Yeah,
they change
yeah.
it a little bit, and there's actually a family that looks just like you around the corner.
That's when like Marge is in there, and she's like, "I want some diapers," and he turns around, it's like, "No, actually, I don't want diapers. I want women's combs or something." And he's like, "No, I definitely don't want that. I want this." And it ends up she just buys a shit ton of beef jerky.
Yeah, the beef jerky.
I want loads of beef jerky.
Yeah, so in Alaska, they're making a new life for themselves. Like they've escaped Springfield.
Yeah.
Basically, back at Springfield, they're trying to break the glass to get out of the dome, and a crack appears. And so
This is after they threw pies and
Rothwick and blue bubbles at it.
and bubbles were blown at it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger basically gets manipulated into ordering the town's destruction. So he chooses option 4.
He gives them 5 options, doesn't he? And then he's like, I don't know, 2, and he's like a bit higher. 5, like a bit lower. 3, and then he ends up basically saying 4, and 4 is the destruction of Springfield.
Yeah.
So the Simpsons get onto this by seeing a TV advert starring Tom Hanks saying, like, basically, are you bored of the Grand Canyon? We've got a new one. And that's where they figure out they're going to bomb the Springfield
and make a new Grand Canyon.
like a brand new one.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty funny. Speaking of like the location of where Springfield is as well, I like the fact that when Ned takes Bart up to the top of the mountain earlier on, they name 4 states which are nowhere near each other.
Yeah.
They're like, look from up here, you can see Maine. You can see these.
Just keep them guessing.
So I enjoyed that.
That's the thing about Springfield. It's not actually like you have no idea where this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But even then, they said what did the way they said where the new Grand Canyon was? They said it was like it's east of Shelbyville and south of nowhere else, or something like that.
They do a thing in the show where Marge is giving the address on the phone, and she's like, "It's whatever Springfield, Ohio, Maud."
Yeah. So basically, the rest of the family, other than Homer, want to go back and save Springfield.
Yeah.
Homer refuses because they tried to kill him.
He likes his new life, yeah.
Yeah, likes his new life in Alaska. Marge ends up taking the kids and leaving Homer because Homer's been at Eskimos, which is the bar in Alaska. He was playing Grand Theft Walrus. That's what he was playing. Comes back and Marge has taped over the wedding tape, which I thought was quite
poignant.
Quite a poignant moment, like quite a heartfelt part of this film. Well, the most heartfelt part.
Yeah.
It was definitely the turning point in the entire movie, wasn't it?
So Homer basically ends up, to cut long story short, he goes through an epiphany with the help of a native Alaskan who's...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that bit.
What did he call her? Boobs or something?
Boobs or something, yeah. So, thank you, boobs.
So he has his epiphany, which you get it's a sequence where his body just basically pops apart and he goes, wait a minute, to save myself, I have to save Springfield. And that's where he knows.
He's getting slapped about by some trees and stuff, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's really weird.
But,
like, I think it kind of calls back to it at the end of the film as well, where like there's a weird, like there's a bit of a wind in a tree. I mean, we'll get to that at the end, I guess. But
so Marge and the kids end up getting caught by the Environmental Protection Agency. They wake up to be found dumped inside Springfield. So they're back at Springfield and they come across Mo, who's got a traffic cone on his head.
Yeah.
And he's proclaimed the leader of Springfield. So after 3 months or 4 months, however long it had been, the whole place had gone to ruins.
What did he call himself? Like the Grand Master of Springfield?
Yeah, something like that.
Then you hear Barney or something saying I don't think so, or something like that. It's like, I can't remember what he says, but he's
self-proclaimed Emperor of Springfield.
Emperor of Springfield, and Barney's like, I don't think so, or something like that. And then, go on.
I was going to say, this is where they get notified that a bomb is going to be,
it's literally inserted through a big hole in the ceiling, and it's hung on a string for them as well, just to wind them up a bit, just to give them that option to climb out as well.
Yeah. So as they're trying to climb out, Homer has made his way to Springfield. He's climbed up the side of the dome.
Oh God, yeah.
And whilst a lot of Springfield were about to get to freedom to get out of the dome, Homer, trying to save the day, flies down the rope, knocking everybody off. So at that point again, he's messed it up again, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's doomed Springfield for a second time.
Proper heartfelt after this, though, isn't it? Like this whole Homer bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he ends up he reconciles with Bart, who.
This is the bit that it was proper heartfelt. This like got me like teary eyed almost.
Well, we'll build up to it. Bart ended up trying to find the Flanders because he didn't want to spend his last moments with his family.
Yeah.
He wanted to spend it with Ned, and he wanted to feel what it was like to have like a real dad. So he goes outside, doesn't he? And Homer's grabbed a motorbike, which he rode earlier on in the film, or he rode a bike. Grabbed the bomb with the plan of riding up the sides of the dome, which he'd done earlier on in the film, to throw the bomb outside to save Springfield. And so he stops off by Bart, asking, "Do you want to?"
He basically says, "I'd like to spend my final moments with my son," kind of thing. And Bart's like, "I kind of want to spend it with a real dad." And I think Homer's reaction is basically like, "Well, you can hold the bomb."
He takes him up on it, doesn't it?
And then he says, "He just gets me."
Please, I hope one of you guys have got the Flanders reaction to this with Rod and Todd. I can't remember what it is now, but it's hilarious. Oh, I
honestly don't know.
Like Rod and Todd make some comment about it, and Flanders tells them to like shut up or something. But it's an amazing quote, but I can't think now what it is.
I actually don't remember a quote from Rod and Todd at that point.
So I'm trying to find it all.
I mean, if you want to try and do that, then fine.
Yeah, I can't find that, John.
No, we'll just keep going, guys.
So they end up riding up the sides of the dome.
Yep.
Homer and Bart throw the bomb out. Quite a nice moment with them two together. Like,
well, they're having like a bit of a bonding moment, aren't they? And then like, I think Marge shouts up, goes, "Someone throw the bomb out!"
So they get rid of the bomb and basically save Springfield.
Yep. Titus for wild ones before it bounces out like
like a basketball.
Yeah. They're all like.
So it basically shatters the glass, and everybody survives except Dr. Nick Riviera, who
he does.
has been crushed by a giant shard of glass. I don't know if he's dead.
I think that's the last time you see him.
Is that? I didn't check up on it.
I think just before it, one person says like, that was, at least no one got hurt.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to Nick, just like Dr. Nick just being like,
"Goodbye, everybody."
Bye, everybody.
So anyway, the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, Cargill, he arrives and he's about to shoot Homer. He's got a shotgun aimed at him, but Maggie ends up knocking him unconscious with a boulder.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the end of the film.
Homer's
the Simpsons house had obviously disappeared down a sinkhole earlier on, and the last sort of few scenes are them rebuilding the whole town and rebuilding the Simpson house.
Yep.
So that's the film. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yep.
It's got good reviews on the likes of Rotten Tomatoes. As we've discussed, a 6 out of 10 gives you a positive mark on Rotten Tomatoes.
You mentioned that Empire gave it 2 out of 5. I think that's what I had in my head, thinking it was like a negative reaction when it came out. I can give it 2 out of 5. I don't know. I mean, it's perfectly fine, isn't it? Like, as a film.
I mean, we could just jump onto ratings.
Yeah.
Got anything else we want to talk about on it?
No, I think I'm done.
The only thing I really wanted to cover was they are considering doing a second one.
See, I've seen news about this like over the past couple of years, and I do feel like now is probably a good enough time, as good as any time for them to do a Simpsons sequel movie. And I mean, like I say, like I was never a big fan of the series. I enjoyed the movie, and I'd definitely be up for a sequel movie. Like that.
I'm shocked they never did one sooner. To be honest, like it made so much money and stuff for the film when it came out. Like I thought they'd have churned out a sequel.
It definitely confused me because like after they did the Simpsons movie, obviously they were all straight to DVD, but they did 4 Futurama movies. So
Yeah.
They were nowhere near
yeah.
as big as this though. This is a Goliath compared to those ones.
Theatrical, this one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they just like straight on TV or something?
yeah, well, straight to DVD.
Box office for this was $527 million.
Bloody hell, for a cartoon. Like,
The budget was $75 million. So if you imagine the turnover on that.
yeah, that's
We
good.
don't have to imagine it. The figures are there. All right, let's.
Before we do ratings, can I just chuck out that quote I mentioned?
Yes.
At the very end, after Homer drives off with Bart on the bike, Todd goes, "I wish Homer was my father." And Ned goes, "And I wish you didn't have the devil's curly hair."
Oh yeah, I do actually remember.
Yeah,
that,
that's great. Yeah, rather than go on too long, should we do our ratings for it? We talked a lot about The Simpsons today. I'll start. I'm going to give this film a 4, just because of the relevance of The Simpsons in culture. How much that I've not watched The Simpsons recently, but then watching this film, thoroughly enjoying it, and feeling just like I'd never not watched it. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I'd just jump back straight onto watching The Simpsons again. Like it was, like not a nostalgic thing because Simpsons never went away, but like putting an old pair of slippers on or something like that. Even though I don't wear slippers. But that's the sort of feeling I got from the film. And funny, liked it, didn't think it was too drawn out. There was bits I thought plodded along. Marge, I think, was a particularly good character in this one. I don't really like Marge, but I think the acting on it was good. She developed a lot in this.
When you see acting, like, was it just the animation that was
No,
good?
no, the delivery.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
The delivery of, like, Marge's
No, I
lines
mean,
and
I
stuff.
agree. Like, I think the voice acting on it was amazing. Like,
You mentioned the animation as well. The animation was
no, that's what I mean. Like
top-notch as well.
the way that the animation in the Marge scenes, like proper got me like thinking. Well, not thinking,
It was
but
the good scene with the Disney characters as well, where all the Disney influenced characters come in, fly in through the window, and basically get Marge and Homer ready for a moment. And then it's the look of horror on the face after they realise what they've done. But yeah, no, they were just my thoughts on the film. Really, really liked it.
I'm the same, 4 out of 5. Really like it. It's not the best Simpsons stuff ever, but it's perfectly good enough for a film. So probably one of the best like TV to movie transitions I think that's happened, kind of thing. So yeah, 4 out of 5. Yep.
Nick?
I mean, as I've said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of Simpsons, but like before you even said your ratings, 4 out of 5 was in my head.
Yeah,
and like I think coming from someone who doesn't even like The Simpsons, 4 out of 5 is definitely a good rating for me.
I don't think you can dislike this film. I don't think there's anything.
No,
to dislike.
it's a really good film. Like, I actually really enjoyed the film. Like you say, the Marge bits like proper got me. I want to say going, but that's not what I'm trying to say.
Marge gets you going, does
it gave me the feels.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You always knew there was going to be like the happy ending to the film, so it didn't fully get me. But when she tapes over the video and basically says to make this point,
exactly,
I've taped over our wedding video. It's like,
exactly,
oh, God.
But yeah, I thought it was a really good film. I really enjoyed the whole thing.
Yeah. All right.
Nice one.
Wrap up then. Social media, Nicholas.
Is that me?
It's you. Yeah. It's your bit.
We're on Twitter, if anyone cares. We're on Twitter at DST Podcast. We're also on Instagram at Don't Spoil the Ending.
Search it.
I think. Yeah, we're on Don't Spoil the Ending on Instagram. We're on Facebook. You can search Don't Spoil the Ending, or the URL is facebook.com/DST Podcast. John, we have an email, do we not?
Yeah, don't spoil the ending at gmail.com.
I personally am at DST Nick on Twitter, that is.
Yep. It's Joe at Twitter. On Twitter.
And I'm at Taylor1980.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, been a good show, guys. Talked a lot of
cheers.
Simpsons.
Yep.
The biggest TV show?
I'd say so.
Yeah. Biggest animated TV show.
Biggest TV show
by
ever.
far.
So what are we calling this again? It's the
Simpsons 31st episode spectacular. Is that what it is?
So I don't know if it's spectacular or extravaganza.
Extravaganza, maybe. I'm not sure.
All right.
We'll find out soon, I'm sure.
Let's finish it off here.
Yeah.
Worst episode ever. All right. We'll speak to you again next week.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, bye.
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 Bye.